Hey, Lemon Coke night! Yay! Egghead, haven't forgot about you. We're getting you the link now, so hopefully Cheshire will do that in the background there. But anyways, it is Rum and Coke night, non-sequitur show celebration. First things first. Yes, God's Auditor, I have no alcohol in the house except for the Glenlivet 12 that you got me months ago, and that's all I've had of it. I only drink it for special occasions, so I am savoring it because it's one of the best alcohols I've ever had. I do like the Johnny Walker Black marginally better, but that's what I'm drinking tonight. So, and by the way, anybody who thinks I drink vodka, you're an idiot. I like vodka Collins, but I only truly drink rum or scotch. Come on, please. But I have a person also drinks scotch with me.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I do. Ruhif,
Hello.
have your scotch. Let me see your scotch.
Yeah, there's my scotch.
Okay, so which one are you having?
That's my, I don't know. There's 22 left. I'll have a look.
How many? What is that? Like each one of those is how many shots?
Just one shot each.
Just one shot each? Really? One finger. Oh, it's one finger, I guess.
1.5 ounces. Is that 1.5 ounces each?
Yeah.
Where do we go?
Yeah, I guess they can't really see me because I'm kind
hello.
of hidden here. So.
All right, so Knockando, single malt, 21 years old, Scotch whiskey.
Drink it up.
Ooh, how many years?
21.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Eat shit.
Oh my
Go.
God, you're killing me here, bro.
Go.
All right, hang on. Let me get my
Oh,
camera
rubber
here so
glove.
people can actually see me. All right, so like I said, I'm drinking scotch here. That's about all I can drink is like a finger. And to show God's Auditor that I've been, that's all I've had of your scotch since like what is it? I think you got this to me in October or something like that. So I do drink it very rarely. I'm not a big drinker, contrary to popular belief. But this is really good. It's a good sippy drink. So here's to you, everybody.
Hey.
Glenn,
Fuck
here's to
off.
you. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Cheers! I'm gonna keep myself muted because I'm out and about.
Oh, you're drinking beer?
Wait.
Yeah,
okay,
dude, it's a
hold on.
celebration. This is for
Yeah,
you,
you gotta
dude. I
keep
don't
on,
drink
man.
unless there's a celebration.
Damn.
This is my giant sippy glass of apple
This
juice.
is like, look, I'm participating.
Look at how big
but
this
I'm
is.
not
This
really
goes
fucking
like my hip
participating, okay?
This glass is the distance from my hip to my underboob.
That's impressive. Nicely done.
That's pretty
You're so
impressive.
small,
That's
though.
how they measure it from hip to underboob. That's a glass.
But the thing is, though, the check is so small.
That
that's
I
like
want to drink that beer.
How did you measure that again? I wasn't sure how you measured that again.
You want me to show you again?
Well, I don't want to get demonetized and it's kind of creepy. That's exactly.
Yeah, show us again.
What is it? Wait, what can we call that measurement? What do you call that? One chesh?
Maybe it would sound
Chest navel.
maybe it would sound
No,
better coming
okay?
from a woman. Chess, can you show that again?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I think I moon worked up. Man.
I'm a man, but I still want you to show me again.
Yeah, seriously, I want to see them all. Sorry.
You guys
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to see them all.
All right, I have
to see them all.
I have a hard-hitting question for Elusive Man. So,
All right,
okay.
but Brandy, you got
Elusive
to
Man.
mute if you get into background noise because we got way too many people
All right.
in here. We got dozens of people coming in.
By itself.
So.
Soda.
Now it's Reds. I got it. Somebody be muting people. I was like, hear them come up because we got to maintain some kind of quiet. Okay,
right.
so go for it.
Oh, Elusive Man, this is my hard-hitting question for you. What is your response to the allegations that your entire organization has been indoctrinated by the Reapers?
My organization has been indoctrinated by the Reapers, and we're slowly but surely trying to take over humanity. But
All right,
that's okay, though.
that's a surprising amount of honesty. Fair enough.
Yeah, full respect for telling the truth.
Yeah.
Chesh, can you get? Are you the gatekeeper tonight, Chesh? Can we get?
Who's the keymaster then?
She's a keymaster. Godless Scummer needs link, and
The Scummer needs the link, and Ruble needs the link.
and Ruble needs link. Yeah,
Does without any crystal balls.
I gave her a
The
link already.
Commentary
That's the other
channel needs the link. Okay, you got it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's already here though. Clearly, hi, Chesh. Yeah,
Well, man, that was not us. Just
she said she might come in. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, I said the other day we had a hangout with Reds, and we had kind of went over all the stuff that's going on. So, as you guys know, the judge has decided that part is over. we have a strongly worded letter to Kyle going off, which is to turn over all the passwords and accounts to me. We are counting down to the minute and legit going to ask for a civil contempt charge if he doesn't do it by that date. The reason why we're sending this letter is because we want to be able to go in front of the judge and go, we gave him every opportunity. And when you have every opportunity and that you're in front of the judge, that doesn't look very good. So he will be in front of the judge, I have a feeling, at some point. But by the way, just to let you know, Egghead, you came in on your main account. You may want to check that. Make sure you don't dox yourself.
Oh, okay. Copy that.
Steve, on your background over your left shoulder,
It's up to you.
there's a bottle of Jura on your left shoulder.
Yeah.
You go that one next.
My left
Your
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about it?
Where your right hand is now pointing.
This is my left shoulder, man.
Yeah, over that shoulder,
Yeah.
there's 2 bottles of Jura where your shoulder is. Where your
Oh, is there? I can't see. It's too small.
yeah, so that's that one.
Oh, nice.
That's that one.
Did you already drink that?
God
Did you
damn
already
it.
drink that one shot?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I barely could sip this stuff. Anyways, Egghead, welcome.
It's a shot. Hold on, Steve. Do you not know how to do a shot?
Shot? No,
You
listen,
don't
dude,
shoot scotch.
Scotch, you don't
Down
shoot.
scotch.
Scotch is not a shooter drink.
Mm.
Unless
You
you're
don't
God's
need to
auditor,
do
you
enough
don't
of
shoot
that.
anything.
I am strongly with Steve on this one. If you're shooting your scotch, then either you're doing it wrong or your scotch sucks.
Yeah, but if you've got a
Or you're
shooter,
fucking rich.
if you've got a shooter of scotch though, you don't drink it like a shot, but you do still drink it.
Like
You
it's
don't
not-
sip
it's
like
a shooter.
shooter.
It is shooter, but
Put it in a
Measured
glass.
scotch. Shot.
I just want to
God's
say,
auditor, is it okay to take a shooter as a scotch, drink it all at once? Is it okay with you?
Nah.
No,
It's not,
Don't
right?
do it.
Yeah, thank you.
no.
Yes.
Savor the taste,
See,
bitch.
that's why I've been drinking this really slow because I just couldn't. It's a good sipping drink.
I'm
As you
finally
can
ready
tell,
for
I
tonight.
ran
got
out of my other
in
alcohol. I
front of me.
told you this is my only alcohol I've had for like 6 months, and it's gone. So I only have my little
Be right
bottle.
back. I
Of
need
scotch.
That sounds
to-
bad.
Real quick. Hold on.
I think we set you back about 5 or 6 months when you came down here. So-
Oh, we're
wow,
not.
that's
Yeah,
not strong.
yeah. That's why. As you can tell, I didn't have that many drinks, but I don't drink that much, and so I'm such a lightweight that.
You forewent that fucking rule when you were down here.
Well, I was on
Just
vacation.
saying. You got in there, and we were fucking in
I
there
held my
like
own.
swimming.
I held my own. Crazy Sexy here, $10. Congratulations, Steve. I hope everyone is having a great night. We are.
Does it say
I-
egg
yeah,
now or what?
absolutely.
I'm having a great night.
Steve, I just
No,
realized something.
Egghead, you're still on your main account. You've got your name, your actual name showing right now.
My Colton Simpson name.
So-
Yeah, that one. If you don't care, it's fine.
Love
but
your
if you
hair,
do
though.
care,
I mean, I've said my name on
I know you
camera
have,
many
but-
times. People know my real name anyway. So
I've been in this for so long. I don't care anymore. It's
Yeah.
like
Welcome back, Kev. People don't. People
Hi,
don't remember.
Egghead.
hello, Moon.
We're bringing in some old guests from the Non-Sequitur show. Kevin was actually a guest that was talking about the occult, and we're going to have him back on.
fantastic.
Oh, really? Awesome. I look forward to that. That's
So
gonna be-
we're getting in touch with a lot of old guests and new guests. We have a game plan coming up.
has he given the channel back yet?
No, he's got 14 days. Well, 12 now.
Lovely.
I just gotta say, I am so happy that once again, looking forward to new episodes of the Non Sequitur Show is something that I get to do because I really, really used to look forward to nearly every episode. It was so rare that there was anything on the Non Sequitur Show. I was just like, I don't care. But then when Kyle started doing his thing where he was like, oh, we're going to do the smoking nun, we're going to do the honest Mr. Atheist.
Oh yeah, tell me
I
about it.
was like, oh, I don't care at all.
And
then
Let's take a look at my grinder.
So let me ask you. So Dap, you didn't stop watching because of me, because that seemed to be the narrative that. Steve was pissing off a lot of guests.
No, look,
even a handful of people that were toxic. that I pissed
Every
off.
time you say narrative, you have to drink.
I didn't
No,
say
so
I didn't say the N word.
My liver won't take that.
So, Steve, to answer your question,
Instead of facts.
so to answer your question, Steve, there were some episodes that I liked that you weren't on because, like FTFE was on or Team Skeptic was on, and they were having fun just smashing some flurf, and that was okay.
Yeah, totally get
It was fun. But for all of the shows that were just regular shows, or it was Kyle and someone else talking about the most boring shit, I tried them once or twice because I didn't know what I was getting into.
Shit, dude. I'm sorry, but I mean, I know a lot of people like Geek Room, but like you talked about Geek Room, what exactly about Geek Room do you fucking find compelling? And
I don't have anything to do with them.
What about them? Those four guys, do you think that is compelling that people should listen to them for?
How did we get to that? How did we get to the Geek Room?
He's talking. Well, he said he listened to their stuff, and
I don't think he mentioned the Geek Room.
No, he didn't say the Geek Room. He was saying
that's not what he was talking about.
Kyle was trying to do this.
Okay, yeah.
Stuff.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
I'll say this,
Kyle's add-on shows were terrible.
Yeah, and we knew that. We didn't like the direction he was taking.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Steve, you're entirely the reason I stopped listening to Non-Sequitur Show, because when you left, it wasn't worth listening to anymore.
Yeah.
Or let me rephrase. When you were forced off, it wasn't worth listening to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really think it's kind of funny that I was being this martyr guy that I pissed off Aaron Raw, ergo I lose my show. It's like, wait,
that one annoys the shit out of me for
well, what's like if I pissed off Aaron Raw on a philosophical question, why didn't he ever hey, let's go and talk about this on air? And he never really would. I mean, he didn't want to debate me on it. He didn't want to discuss me on it, and I would have at the time.
We try to get both of you guys on the same page, didn't we?
You guys.
We tried to.
Oh yeah. You guys are wonderful. Atheist Edge has been one of the best atheist things out there. You guys were great when I came down there. I loved you guys.
He made up something where he had to do something, or I mean, I don't know if it was made up or not. Like, I'm not gonna say whether or not I think the guy had made an excuse up to not be there, but
I was there, and I was. If he was gonna be there, I was cool.
Yeah.
Well, there are two things that were annoying with Kyle talking about Aaron. One is that Aaron never said shit about that. Never. Yeah. Not once have I ever seen anything from Aaron directly actually talking about it. And two, the only person trying to sow discourse during the shows that both Steve and Aaron were on was Kyle.
Yeah, he wanted he wanted that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think anybody's disputing that.
Aaron addressed it one time when you had Grady McMurtry on, and he said, I'm glad, Steve, that, you helped me on this because, Steve, started talking about radiometric dating and, he gave Steve a compliment. So that's the only time I've seen it directly.
We were trying to.
He's totally quiet otherwise.
Yeah, me and
has anybody ever told you look like Luke Perry?
Luke Perry.
Aaron and I were trying to work it out, and let's say we're like, for the sake of argument, let's just kind of not talk about that subject. By Dave doxes people.
It also seems like it wasn't that big a deal to most people, except to Kyle, that this debate was going on.
It wasn't. Let me try to tell you why. Sandry, $10. Hooray for non-sequitur shows. Thank you, Sandry. And yes, you're definitely going to be on our first episode. That's already a given. It was a big deal because you know me. I stand my ground, especially when I philosophically I can make an argument for it, right? Aaron doesn't like
and you're
that.
right. They're very important that you're 100% right.
Yeah.
That's kind of a given at this point. People know by now that I am correct on this. But I was trying to help Aaron out to have him understand it, right? And I think what happened was instead of having him understand it, people like Kyle and other people wanted to whisper in his ear to make it all, more of a personal thing rather than an educational thing. Because I think Aaron could eventually understand it. Because I know TJ did and Jim did and other people that initially gave me pushback after they really looked at these things, they're like, oh shit, yeah, this is right. So
yeah.
Well, also, I've watched a fair amount of Aaron's stuff. I have a lot of respect for the man's science, but he's not a philosopher.
Right.
We need to get Chris in here.
Chris? Like what? Chris Hansen?
Great on biology.
Yeah.
And
Oh, God. He already has his hands busy enough as it is.
No, our Chris Hansen.
No,
Our Chris Hansen.
So another thing about Aaron Ra is it wasn't that long ago that he used a clip of Steve very favorably in one of his videos to make a point for him.
Yes, he did.
So it was his video Hoven's failure to correct his errors, which was about Ken Hoven, where Ken Hoven had made a response to Aaron Ra, and then rather than bothering to make a live response to him, he just took previous clips from him and Steve correcting Kent Hoven. And I was like, what? Amazing. But if Aaron Ra hated Steve, he wouldn't have done that. He would have used
No,
something.
Arn doesn't
Clearly
speak
not.
Steve, actually,
I don't have a problem with Arn. I really like Arn as a person.
they just disagree
We disagree on that.
philosophically.
And if other people had
Arn
been
happens
involved,
to
it
be
would have been
wrong.
fine. But they tried to fan the fire, right? They wanted to see drama. They wanted these people a lot. When we talk about dumpster fires, I like organic dumpster fires. I don't like them being fanned, right? Kyle was more the person to try to fan a dumpster fire and make. He would be like in the background. We needed this, we needed this to go south, kind of thing. We need to make controversy. We need to, And I'm like, if it happens, it happens.
He did a lot of forcing. He did a lot of forcing of dumpster fires, and he also I agree completely 100%. The Dapper Dino on the extra shows that he decided to throw in there. You think it was bad being a subscriber? Try being the producer and having to watch all that bullshit.
I would have lost my mind. I didn't watch a lot of those episodes. I honest to God didn't.
I was actually today going through some of the deleted comments from the channel, and one of the people had said, "Where are the non-sequitur episodes?" I appreciate that you want to do the Smoking Nun, and I appreciate that you want to do whatever additional show you want to do on Saturdays, but where are the non-sequitur episodes? None of these are non-sec.
Kyle didn't grasp that. He didn't understand that at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kawasa 5001, Kyle plus Steve chemistry were good during the early days, but without Steve, it's like C3PO without R2D2.
That's a great analogy.
I guess on the R2D2 will take it. I guess.
My first video that I ever edited for DP, when I became their clip editor, was the video where you guys went up against Brett Keane.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you want to send Ben and Billy an invite?
Well, I know Billy's on his way to Seattle because he just got done talking to Onision.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he still hanging out? Hang on a sec, Tito. Is he still hanging out with Onision?
No, he stopped being friends with them. He just went to them. He just went to Onision's house to at least get his Onision side of the story, and the chat was flooded with anti-Onision people, and they are giving Billy shit right now as he's driving back to Seattle for the Drunken Peasants show.
Okay, I could look at the internal chat, but I got to turn it off for everybody else to do so because
it was a shit show in that video.
What am I missing on the internal chat, Chesh? And by the way, I have to turn off everybody to see the internal chat because
Somebody's muted and they're having trouble getting unmuted.
Uh-oh.
Because it says you're the one who muted them. It's not letting them unmute.
Oh, okay.
They put headphones on so they wouldn't have an echo now.
I got it.
I'll
take care of it. Continue on.
I see.
Thank you, King Steve.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you for gracing us.
You're welcome, Princess. Actually, says unmuted.
Thank you for being the magnanimous cult
I
leader
didn't do
that
it.
you
You
are.
already did it.
Wait, Chesh isn't a princess. She's a goblin queen.
She's a queen.
Yeah, she's the queen of goblins.
She's anything I call her to be.
The queen of goblins who's hailing in Canada right now.
Yeah,
Wait, Chesh, does that
Hi.
Hello. Hey.
I think we're getting a little bit of an echo now from Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, you're getting an echo.
What are they?
I'm pretty sure it's you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just everybody mute unless you're going to
Okay,
talk.
I'm mute.
Everybody
I'm
mute,
mute.
except for Sweet Heathen and who was the other person that just came in that you're talking to?
Hello.
Probably.
Oh, Vegan.
Holy shit! Hey.
I'm here.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, this is like a weird episode of what is that name of that movie?
Kyle just called me.
Kyle just called you?
What the heck?
Like,
What?
Yeah.
Like,
Hello. This is
Hey,
hello.
I have the number saved in my phone.
He called your
He
cell
called me just
phone?
now.
Are you sure
Yeah, he
about
called
that?
my cell phone.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I feel like you should call him back and put him on speakerphone, but
No,
maybe it's a
don't
bad
do
idea.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I'm not gonna
Like,
say,
no,
but
don't,
yeah,
no.
that's terrible. Don't do it.
That's a
No,
terrible
no,
idea.
no, no.
All right, I'll blame it on the
It's a
tequila.
horrible.
No, no.
It's an absolutely horrible idea, and you definitely
Yeah,
should
don't
do
do
it.
it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
As
I'm not
funny
gonna
as
do
it,
that.
as funny
Not
as it
gonna-
sounds,
on
it's
this
a
one.
bad idea.
You are a
Very
bad
trash.
influence, Sweet
Like I
Heathen.
said, tequila.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
You have to admit it's a tempting idea, though.
Every bad idea
I'm not
when
gonna
we
do
drink, it's like, hey, let's do that. You want to go kick some puppies? Let's do that, Steve.
Oh,
no, I'm
God.
like, sweet. No, kicking puppies
Hold on a
is
second.
bad.
I have
No,
to
you got
go
it
off
wrong. I
meat
don't wanna-
and come back.
What's
Are
sweet?
you okay with that? I have to. Yeah. I have
Call
to,
him
go.
back.
Some-
Get
some
off
thing.
meats. Get off
One second.
meats.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Then come back and inform us of what happened.
Yes.
He's our informant.
I'm not going to do that, but all right.
Just go. Just do your thing.
Our spy.
And just no kicking of the puppies, okay?
No, we don't.
I keep telling Sweet that, but she don't listen to me. You try to control her. She gets in a kicky puppy mood. It's like those little motherfuckers have to fly.
See, you don't listen. I don't like to kick puppies. I like to eat kittens.
Oh my god.
Hashtag.
See, now that makes sense.
That's horrible.
See, I prefer. I don't eat kittens, puppies, or babies. I prefer to drink them as they are blended.
You like puree?
Excellent
You're
strategy.
the worst atheist I've ever
Jesus,
met.
Chesh.
Hey, I'm not an atheist.
Drink my water. God damn it.
Yeah,
I have a
not.
hard-hitting question for Chesh because
Are
the
they
game was
gluten-free?
bad. So, Chesh, what about the rumors that you're Jareth the Goblin King's widow?
Oh shit! The widow of the Goblin King.
Why did
My husband is dead?
Yeah, wait, did Jared die?
How
Yeah,
does
he
that
died
work?
in like 2016 because that's when all the other celebrities
yeah.
died.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Huh?
You remind me
That
of
was a
the
bad
bear.
year for celebrities.
Sorry, did you say Jareth or Jared?
Jareth with a th.
Joeth.
From the
Labyrinth.
labyrinth. Yeah.
I will love forever anyone who can do a Hoggle impression.
A Hoggle impression.
I would like to really quick, just for the chat, because they're talking about it.
Oh god.
God, I hate that.
Oh.
I hate that too.
Do it with your eyes closed. Then that's even more suggestive.
Although let's clarify the
God,
record.
my ears are wet now. Jesus.
Yeah, no, I feel like I feel like somebody licked my inner ear, right?
It's like,
Oh my god, look who showed up. Ken Hovind CPA. $2. Chiefs 49. Chiefs
naughty Chesh.
Chiefs 42. Niners 19. I don't want to dox the not dox, but I don't want to give away the score of a game. But thank you, Ken Hovind CPA.
Christ.
You can't dox the NFL, man.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't the word I was going for. I've been so distracted with Sweet Heathen since she showed up.
I gotta say, so I was drinking some tequila when the Coggle impression comment came in. I had to very quickly mute myself because I snorted tequila into my nose.
Oh god.
Oh,
Jeez, that was
I bet your sinuses are clear now.
Oh, they're very clear because this is not just tequila. It's Serrano pepper infused tequila.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't do that. When
All right,
Chesh,
guys, are we counting the drinks?
Yeah, go
What?
have another one.
One down.
My
I
question
don't
is,
think I want to get drunk tonight because I'm just getting water.
Wait, what
Oh,
is
good one.
everybody drinking right now?
I've been drinking a lot
Scotch.
lately. Screw you.
Because I don't know, there's some idiot on the YouTube that thinks I drink vodka, and I'm like, yeah. When the hell have I ever drank vodka? TJ, Sweet, have you ever seen me drink vodka? Because if I don't think
Not
No.
one. Not even a mixed drink with vodka.
Dude,
Yeah, I'm
the
not a big
first
vodka drinker.
drink that you ordered for us when we were drinking at that bar was like you got me a Long Island and you got a Jaeger shot, and
No,
it
you
was
got the
just
Jaeger
like
shot. I got a fireball shot.
what, like yeah, you were like, hey,
Yeah,
whatever,
Fireball,
man,
I
what
think,
do
yeah.
you guys want? It's cool, and yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my
It's
god.
fucking great.
Well, it's rum and coke note, so I got the old dark rum out tonight.
Oh,
So
that looks awesome, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I prefer rum.
Unfortunately, I'm not drinking Coke or rum. I'm just drinking some tequila on the rocks with Serrano pepper garnishes.
Oh wow.
Okay, so here's
I'm just drinking the
I
blood
got
of my
a story.
enemies.
I got apple
That is gonna be fun.
generic cola.
In my smoke.
Oh, go Smug! Where's my Smug?
Smug, yay!
Where's my
So
Smug?
wait,
Oh, I think it's in the
do you guys
cabinet.
want to hear my pepper
She got a
story? 'Cause
Smug!
It is
Okay.
nice. Do you guys want to hear the pepper story? Because it's a pepper story.
Okay, go ahead.
So for the first time ever, I did grocery delivery because I'd never done it before. I want to see how it would work. So I'm on the website and I'm like, okay, I want some Serrano peppers because I like to put them on like my breakfast and whatever. And they're like, oh, they're 13 cents a count, basically. I'm like, okay, well, I'll have 5. It turns out I was ordering bags of like 10, not individual Serrano peppers. So my groceries get here and I open up this one bag and it's just full of like 50 Serrano peppers. And I'm like, well, shit. What am I going to
Didn't
do
you
with
notice
50
that
Serrano peppers?
when you paid for it, did you think it was a little exceptionally high?
I mean, I may have already had some whiskey at the time, so I don't know.
So the moral of the story is don't do grocery shopping for peppers after you've had a few drinks.
Don't
Exactly.
drink and shop.
Good idea not to do any shopping at this
Shopping
point.
and drinking.
My infinite journey $2. Hot cocoa with Kahlua. That sounds amazing.
If we're sharing mugs, this is my favorite mug. It's a Star Wars mug.
I love that mug. I want that mug.
Nice.
Does that have the Yoda rock on it?
God damn it, Steve.
Does that have
No.
X-wings?
You gotta have one with Yoda rock.
Hey, no mocking Star Wars.
Oh, actually, I'm mocking Egghead, but whatever.
Yeah, he's mocking me.
Fair enough.
Because of a thing I said in a video, thinking a little tiny little rock on a bigger rock was Yoda.
Guys, we
Back
gotta
when
have
episode
some
8
peer
came out.
pressure here. We're going to try to get Trina Porter to come in here. She has the link. So Trina, you do it. Do it. You know you want it. Come on.
Come here, Trina.
Come on, Trina. Special occasion.
Do it for Cheshire. We know you love Cheshire the best.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to pin Cheshire. I'm going to pin her right here. So wait, pin to screen.
Oh God.
It's just Cheshire. It's just Sweet being shown. Wait, Chesh.
Oh no.
Do your best way to get Trina to come in here. You work your magic
no.
without getting us like
Okay,
removed
no,
from the
wait,
internet.
Oh, Trina, I'm from Australia. Come here.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, that's hard to
Sweet.
do.
Join us.
Sweet, tell her to join us. Just say join us.
I already did, Trina. We love you.
Trina,
Okay.
Please
come
come
in. We require your comedic revels to include in and join our night, you beautiful bard, you.
We love you, Trina. We all want to marry you. Everybody in here wants to marry you, Trina.
Yes, become one of our
Become one of us. Twitch
One
TV.
of us.
Super chat.
Weeble wobble.
Trina. Twitch TV Punisher $5. Congrats on getting back what was rightfully yours in the first place. I will resub to that channel after you get full control. Yeah, it'll be a few weeks.
Damn right.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
After the 14th, or not after the 14th.
We've got a game plan.
Waiting.
I gotta be honest. The day that I get
Patreon now.
I'm just going to be amused to see how many subscribers NonSec suddenly gains.
It's gonna be quite a bit.
When you regain control.
We've already got a game
there
plan
are
for
some
that.
comments that got deleted that are gonna pop up that have not aged well.
Oh Lord.
One of my favorites is one of the
you read
mods.
Oh no.
I
Yes,
probably
please.
could. One of the
Please
mods
do.
was twirling they literally put twirling mustache. Oops, my hand slipped and I deleted them all. But they redacted that comment. But that comment's gonna go back with the flood of all of the other comments.
Oh no.
Yeah, for those who don't know,
could've
we
said
actually have a way of actually restoring all 1,000+ deleted comments after a certain.
Oh, Lord.
So we will be doing
Oh
that.
wow.
That will be amazing.
Unleash everything.
Yes.
Unleash the Kraken!
But I will mention this.
no.
The Geek Room has asked.
You'd be like,
Hang on. The Geek Room has asked me to move one of their
Uh.
videos. We mirrored one of their videos, but since they're no longer affiliated with us, they've revoked that mirror. I think it's petty, but I'm going to do it for them. So I am going to be moving one video from the Non-Sequitur show, but the only reason we're moving is because they no longer. It's weird when you give somebody the right to mirror something. It's something in our community where we say it's okay to do so. It's kind of an established thing. I have people that I can't stand are mirroring my videos. I've never told them to take it down. After I wouldn't personally do that myself. But they're being petty about it, so I'm going to take it down. But I think it's really, really petty. That's what. By the way, that's what Dave. That's what they wanted to
Can
talk
you tell
about.
us which video it was?
Well,
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was the one with Kyle was on their show. Kyle and Leash or something. I don't know. That was whatever Kyle.
Whatever.
It's almost.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just really petty.
It's Kyle. Who cares about that?
Yeah, it's just really petty. I mean, it's fine.
See this now.
Oh, I agree.
well,
You know
Steve, I was
something?
going to say there was that one exception of the guy who was mirroring your stuff without permission.
That's different,
we won't
though.
mention his. Yeah, we won't mention his name. We'll just say he's Cheshire's pet.
Yeah, that's different.
That's-
I mean,
that should be a clue.
when somebody has
Oh my
permission to
God!
mirror, you can't just revoke it
the
like that.
last,
And-
the
I mean,
very
you can, but
last,
it's stupid.
the very last comment that was deleted by the Non-Sequitur channel was a comment left by my adorable little pet that runs around, and it says, "The show must go on."
Oh my God.
So many things didn't age well. I'm telling you.
Oh my
It's
God!
like
You want to hear some of them? I'll read some of them out if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Go
I
for it.
will. I'm pulling out a handful of my favorites.
Trina, you coming in, Trina?
Do it.
Do it, I say, do it.
Trina, peer pressure.
I'll be like Palpatine. Do it. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Trina,
Kyle.
if you don't come in, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep.
Trina, how about this, Trina? If you don't come in, there's no chance in the world you having physical contact with any of the women in here.
Living the threats now.
Trina, do it.
Wow, that's...
It is.
Are you trying to titty block us?
Yeah. I'm titty blocking you.
Steve's trying
Do
to
it,
pimp
Trina.
out the women. Look at this.
Do it, Trina. Do it.
Trina loves you all. Trina wants to marry all the women in here. She doesn't care about the guys. So we're out.
Of course.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't.
I
We're
do.
in her world.
Some of the
Think me and
guys.
Sweet do?
We're the actual leaders here.
So-
People don't
She always
understand.
swings that way.
Look, all you humans are weird and gross, so whatever.
You're a dinosaur.
I'm a
Yes,
goblin.
but he's a very dapper dinosaur.
Should he be extinct?
Trina's not saying anything. Why is she quiet?
Okay,
I-
you're
Very
mindful.
dapper.
I didn't survive several ice ages and a comet just to go extinct now. I'm here to
Yeah,
Like, I just fucking survive all this bullshit for your benefit. Okay.
The dapper dino is in perpetuity.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to find out it's in perpetuity, but only to me.
Okay.
Hey, then Steve, how come you're not on my channel on Wednesday, but Chesh is?
You didn't ask me.
Oh,
Shots fired.
Wait, you didn't ask me.
Wow.
Believe it or not, Chester and I are not like joined at the hip. She can go on. I go on things without her.
So
News to
actually,
me.
I would have asked you, but like I actually got a specific request for Erica and Chesh to be on my channel, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be the one to say no to my audience. So sure.
So one of
That
the
may
first
or may
comments
not
I
have been
grabbed.
me.
One of the first comments I grabbed was, Kyle, stop deleting comments with legitimate critiques.
Like the new director of the show
That
sucks.
was great. That's great.
Oh,
You're
no.
better off allowing your former
Just out of curiosity, who's Erica?
still supporters of the show, if you do what's right, express themselves. Delete overtly mean comments, fine, but if someone tells you that the show sucks, let it be and make the show better. You claimed you did most of the work, but the community has spoken loud and clear that they don't give a shit about nice graphics and music. If you don't have interesting content, not this
Exactly.
not this weekly drivel
Yeah.
with the same old boring guests. Do better, and don't you dare delete my comment.
Deleted.
God.
Well,
And then-
okay, hang on. Let's be fair here. Let's be fair. Hang on. Let's be fair here. When a comment is deleted, you don't know if
Okay.
Kyle deleted it, a moderator deleted it, the person deleted it. We have no idea. We can't tell that information. So
Fair.
just want to throw that out there.
I
And by the
doubt-
way,
I doubt
Astronomy
the
Live
moderator
had
deleted
said that
that.
numerous
Fair.
times, so he was very clear on that.
Fair.
How the chat box, how that works, works.
Let's be fair though. It's much more fun to mess with the nutty comments than to just delete them.
Exactly.
Oh
My
yeah.
favorite,
I was gonna
one of my
say-
favorites is I feel sorry for the guest. I understand everybody's feelings towards the issue, but Jesus, y'all super chatting about Kyle and Steve's issue is a fucking non sequitur.
Everything.
I was asked a question, and real quick, I want to answer it. So I was asked, who's Erica? So Erica runs a YouTube channel called Guts at Given. She has a lot of content that I like. And she did a debate against Standing for Truth and Kent Hovind recently on Modern Day Debate. And she was on my channel for an episode of Leaving Young Earth Creationism, which I'm sort of taking over for the late Bill Ludlow. So yeah, that's who that is. Yeah, so he did that series. I was going to be on it, but then he died, and then I did my own episode of it, and then I just decided, you know what, no one else is doing it, so I'll just keep trying to get ex Young Earth Creationists on my channel.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting into that stuff again. I got some young Earthers that want to come on. I also got I turned him down, but I have Rick Delano, who's a young Earth creationist that wants to try again. He felt
Yeah, I want to get him to debate Dapper Dino. That'd be great.
I would love that.
Oh, I am so.
You want to do that, Dapper?
So down.
I can make that happen.
absolutely down.
Do you know who we're talking about?
Absolutely. So I probably had to. What was his thing?
Rick Delano's a
Remind me.
geocentrist. He was the producer for the movie the
Oh,
Principal.
that guy.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, his
I remember that guy.
Hang on. His manager contacted me a while ago and said, "Hey, look, Rick's really sorry. He felt he came across as really kind of crappy on your program, which he did. About
Yes, he
the
did.
third
I
time
was
he was
gonna
on, fourth
say,
time he was on,
Jesus.
it was bad. And he's like, he wants to try again. Do you want to go on his podcast and or him come on again? And I was like, I'm not really interested this time. But I can always get back to it at any time and say, look, you want to come back on with Dr. Dino. He'll do it because Rick wants to kind of make amends. Because I mean, I ain't got nothing really against Rick, but you got to admit, the last time he was on, damn,
There's really no
did he
beef
suck.
actually
Well,
between the two.
Oh
Steve,
yeah.
have you seen my Hovind debate, Steve?
I don't remember. Probably, I think.
Well, so if you see
I'm
my
sorry.
Hovind debate,
It's good.
Yeah,
No, I'm
so-
sorry for the fact that you put up with the stupidity that is
right.
Hovind.
So
I'm not apologizing for how you did.
Here's the thing, right? Like I trawled through the comments on Hovind's version of that video, and I got to be honest, a lot of his fans were like, I disagree with this Dapper Dino guy. I think he's wrong about all this stuff, but he was a really nice and polite guy, and he didn't seem rude or angry. And so I think that I might be a good choice for someone to try and get back there.
The giant T-Rex didn't seem angry. By the way,
That's impressive.
Hey, I'm a
without any
Ceratosaurus.
crystal balls,
Yeah. Okay, so hang on. I need everybody to hush for a second. I need everybody to hush.
You were like
hang on.
over the top of that shit.
TJ, there's a very special guest in here. Actually, it's Chesh in here twice, basically, I think.
Fuck off.
She knows I'm totally messing with her though.
Okay, hang on. So who's the other person who just showed up here that say hi?
Hi.
Hi!
Oh my
Hi,
God.
other Chesh.
Hi, other Chesh.
Cool.
So, real quick, this is without a crystal ball commentary account who has been around quite some time. No affiliation to us, believe it or not. Actually, she started that account, had nothing to do with Cheshire or I, and she didn't even know who we were. But
This is actually the first time I've actually spoken on voice with this person.
Oh, I have. I have talked to her on voice a few times. But, by the way, do you want to use your first name?
Oh, no, that's okay.
Okay.
No thanks.
We'll call you without any crystal balls. We'll call you Ballless.
Yeah, ballless.
So, anyways, people have been like trying to guess who you are and all this other stuff, and it's the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my life because nobody has gotten it right. Nobody has got even remotely close. I know very little, but correct me if I'm wrong. I know very little about you. I know your first name. I know a little bit about your history in it, and I know kind of why you do what you do. But other than that, I don't know shit about you, do I?
No, you actually don't even know my real first name.
No, and I've said before, I've even said, I know the name that you go by that you tell us when we're in live chat, not live hangouts, but when we're in hangouts together, but I don't even know if it's your real name, and I assume it wasn't. But
right.
I don't know anything about you. You have no affiliation to me. You have no affiliation to Chess. You have no affiliation to the great community. You have your own thing that is completely unrelated, and yet nobody on these other side of the fence they won't get that through their fucking heads.
No, Katie's been swearing I'm Chesh for like 8 months, and I've never seen her provide any evidence whatsoever.
Well, wait a minute. You're talking, and I don't see Chesh. So maybe.
Yeah, she's a good ventriloquist.
Chesh, drink a glass of milk.
Chesh, say something at the same time. Sing something together. Do a duet.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now she's just echoing. You hear that? It is her.
No, bullshit. Chesh, take a drink while he's talking.
Yeah, there we go.
So Robin Coke Night Non-Sequitur Show Celebration. You've heard it here first. Without any crystal ball, ballless. It's not Chesh or anybody else from our community, as I've been saying for how fucking long.
They'll still say it's Chesh, though. They'll still say it's Chesh.
The conspiracy theories will still.
You know
fly.
damn well they'll still say it's her.
No.
Well,
no,
she
her
doesn't
voice
hate you
sounds
and think
different
that
than
you're
her
evil,
Twitter
so she
post.
must be part of the cult.
Chat's actually making a really good point.
Chad,
we sound
you say Chad?
nothing. Chad. We sound nothing alike.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
Yeah.
I do
Chad-
think Chesh and Erica
Chad
sound
who?
sort of
Chad
alike.
Thundercock.
And these are not the hammer.
Yeah.
The hammer is my penis.
Oh God.
So with
Jesus,
the
Chesh.
crystal ballless, did you want to tell anybody about what? I mean, you don't have to go into great details, but it is a celebration, and you have been instrumental in a lot of this as well because I've come to you for your historical content because you have had excellent record keeping, probably almost fastidious to the point of being.
You've been praised by the king.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're doing in real life.
Baby.
You're missing your calling as
not wrong, though.
somebody who does a lot of like filing and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you, you say, hey, do you have a copy of this, or do you remember this or that? Boom, right there.
She pulls it fucking right up.
Right?
Twitter has a really good
Fucking
search
right up.
feature.
What's that, Ballas?
Oh, I was just saying Twitter has a really good search feature I've learned to use since I created this account.
Did you want to 30 seconds sum up though why you have this account? If you don't, I mean, you don't want after you. But.
Sure. Just I saw pervasive patterns of problematic behavior from Katie, that she would go from like community. I mean, I've said this before, but she'd go from community to community, and the same thing would repeat. And because she went to widely different communities, it didn't seem like anyone was really tracking it. And so, I don't know, it felt like an ethical obligation to at least document it. And realistically, if she hadn't have attacked me after I had only 3 tweets out, I probably would have gotten bored and moved on in a couple of weeks. But when she
God damn.
She got you hard too. She was like trying to say that you were
the Tootsie Roll Pop thing, where it was like 1, 2, 3.
I'm just going to call her Ballas. Ballas has not done any.
Can we talk real quick about how fucking adorable she sounds?
I know, right?
Yes,
She is too cute.
Chet is getting a lady boner because of this.
I know.
Lady boner.
Don't fucking kink shame me.
I'm not shaming you.
Yeah.
I don't see anything shameful about that statement.
I mean, we don't know how young or old
What's
she
so
is.
funny about it? What's great? She sounds so cute and mousy, but God, is she a badass?
Right? She sounds cute and mousy, and she'll rip your throat out if you cross her. Okay.
Yeah.
Always beware the quiet ones.
Exactly. Right? Like, if you don't get a vibe from somebody, you should be worried, because if you don't get a vibe from somebody, it's like, there's a vibe there that I should be getting that I'm not getting. And
it is funny though that how you were attacked with no provocation, because you were not a hostile account. You were a record keeping account. And
Hey, Balls, real quick. Nick is saying to let you know that he's in the chat.
Oh,
Nick came in. I did.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the live chat.
And-
Oh, well,
Do you want me to send
Yes.
a lick a nink?
Yeah, I think I already did, but-
nink? Do you want me to send
Lick a
lick a nink?
Yes, I already did, but
Lick a
you
nink.
must have missed it.
We got lick a mink tonight.
Sounds like an event.
Hang on, Conspirator.
Is that like the quickening, the lickening?
Yes,
Hang
the
on.
lickening.
Conspirator became a curious follower, and Psychic Guy became a curious follower. Thank you. That's 2 people that joined. I appreciate it. I hope to have some more members. It's been kind of a little rough because stuff, but if the more people that we have are green, then it's just they're green. They're supporting me, and they're supporting the channel and they're supporting the cause, and I think that's humbling. So, anyways, okay, so Nick, get in here.
The cause.
The cause.
The cause is
would you like me to say the cult?
Yes.
No, it's the kingdom. You're a
The
king.
Kingdom.
We
The
know
fiefdom.
who promoted you.
The court.
The court.
The
Does that make
Democratic
Egghead the
Republic.
jester? Egghead.
no.
Wait, can I get
We
one?
all know. We all
And hail
know.
to the king, baby.
We all know my pet is the jester.
Yeah.
Wait, can I get
Yeah, I
one
have
of
to
those
agree with
useless
that.
court titles like they used to give out in late medieval France, like royal footstool bearer?
Oh, God, the footstool bearer.
No, the steed, the royal steed.
Are you really the chief dinosaur of the court?
Yeah, that's
funny
great.
shit. Saying.
We need ostentatious and useless court titles.
Oh, the Goblin King
Clearly.
has showed up.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Goblin King.
Wait,
Wind tunnel.
oh, hey, you gotta tone it down a little bit.
Oh, sorry, I'm on the phone. I'm kind of heading back from a
Don't
rather fun
apologize,
night out.
man.
Oh, and look, also decided to show up a little bit fashionably late.
Oh shit!
I see trouble.
Oh no. You got some
There
smoothing
goes the
to do,
hangout.
You know what? You know what? I had some fun molesting some rather gorgeous machines tonight, and yes, I got plenty of footage of it. So yeah.
Are you touching
I'm
machines
late
inappropriately? They didn't give you
Dirty,
any
dirty.
consent?
Yeah, I mean,
I
right? Like,
I'm okay with this. Tell me more about your
okay
machine.
with it? Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
You know, Steve, AT2 being here gives me an idea. Maybe we should do like
What
a
is
former
AT2,
sailor night.
right?
If we want, wait, hang on, Dapper, what?
Maybe we should do like a former sailor night sometime.
Oh, I know. I
my
told
God.
AT2 Jared.
I fucking said that
I'm
on
down.
Can I also point out real quick
Yeah,
that
but then
we
you'd
also
be
had
excluding me.
You
we've also
purposely
got
have to
somebody
tell
else who's
Jim
stuck here.
and then not
Hang on, TJ. Everybody can't talk at once. So hang on one sec.
Somebody's
Josh.
riding on AT2's coattails.
What? Huh?
People always wanting to follow the crown.
Well, I wonder what I told AT2 Productions to help him out with his channel and that the vet talk is he'll have a special episode restreamed to this channel so people can get more familiarized and to a bigger audience, and then we can start sending people over to go watch it on his channel. I thought that was a good idea.
That would be badass.
That'd be fun.
And I'm down, and let me know when it's happening.
Yeah, vegans Navy.
Coast Guard.
Whatever.
Thank you very much.
Hey, were you at sea?
I'm not a squid, okay?
I think it's badass that you have a Navy on set as.
I can't hear anything over that noise. Anyways, real quick. Okay, we got a Sandry that propped in, and then we'll get to Jay Brown in a second here. Hang on, Jay Brown. Got to get a Sandry first because he's
Because we haven't seen him in forever.
he's our buddy.
Come on, CV's on.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so a Sandring. Can you hear us, a Sandring?
I'm trying to figure my technology out. Leave me alone for a minute.
No means no.
Well,
he has boundaries issues.
So
I had to unplug you from the truck speakers. You were blaring out, and I couldn't figure out. It's like, wait, stop! It should be on my headset.
I can't
of
get to my
course, it
Twitter
helps
right
if
now,
I
guys.
unplug you. I had to unplug you.
All right, so
Sorry.
we're working
Hello,
out.
hello, all.
Hey! Yeah, I can't get to my Twitter right now, so if you want to in, you're going to have to mess with Yay, the gang's all here.
Yeah, well, and I'm sorry I can't stay too long, but if Crystal was here, I just wanted to, because I know she was like, oh my God, she was getting it. So I was like, I've been talking with her since just about the day she like popped onto the scene. So I figured I'm going to come in and,
Do you
give my
realize,
support.
Nick, that like everybody that has like disagreed with me, because without crystal balls, you, Sweet Heathen, Reg Rhetoric, and Chesh all have disagreed with me, and you're all in the same hangout with me here. And I love you all. I'm so confused. I'm having weird feelings right now. I don't get it.
It's okay. Those feelings aren't.
I've like.
Yeah, don't sell me short. You're a dick.
You know.
Steve, I thought we confirmed you hated me.
Well,
I never hated you. I've always liked you.
I'll be honest. Here's the other thing. We've had some pretty profound disagreements, quite frankly. But we always there's dignity and respect, and we do what adults do. We fucking work through it. But okay.
I love that.
That's just me.
I would say the N word. I gotta say the N word though.
It's amazing how far you can get when you actually talk to someone instead of talking at them.
It's almost like it's virtuous to allow
Some
people
people
to
don't
have freedom of
understand that.
speech.
I do love that narrative that anybody who disagrees with Steve somehow gets fucked, and I'm like, really? I think everybody in this hangout has disagreed with me at one point or another.
Narrative. Take a drink.
Take a drink. I said the N word. I went out of my way to do so. So.
Fuck, I'd have been excommunicated a long time ago.
Yeah, no shit. God's honored. You caused a lot of fucking problems, and I still love you to death.
Yeah, that just goes to show that
It's
people
okay.
talking.
Steve never had any drama till I was around.
Fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Once Cheshire showed up, it's all hell.
Don't you know it's been following him for forever?
Well, you've been following me for different reasons. I had.
So
I'm not gonna say no. That's good. That's accurate.
all right.
It's because she likes physics.
Yeah.
What, Jared?
Physics.
All right. Yep. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Steve. So pick a Friday in the either next Friday or the following after, and we will actually schedule the show to take place on either of your channels.
The
Just
following,
so
the
you know
following
which
one after. Yeah, it's good.
You know what's gonna be funny?
Hey, AT2. Were you an O level or an I level AT? Me too, man. I fucking like 6 months. Yeah, like your school was like 6 months long, and you had to sit there like you.
Man,
Yeah.
this really is just like everybody. This is wow.
Yeah, this is a celebration, baby.
Yeah, this is huge. There's
Yeah.
21 people in here.
That was my
It's Google Meets.
experience.
This one,
God.
I think this can hold. Hang on, I think
So
this
much
is gonna,
love.
I think this is gonna.
You know
hold
what's going to be
100.
really funny is when AT2 is going to be like, oh, like this Friday coming up or the next Friday, but Steve's going to have non-sec back, and we're all going to be like, I'm sorry, new channel, who did this?
Oh no! See, that's why I put it within the next 2 weeks because I don't see Kyle complying to it.
No, I don't think
Because
so
my
either.
hubby ain't no dummy.
That's why.
Because somebody that I would be with is going to be smart enough to pick up on some dumb shit like that.
Jared, because we thought that he's probably not going to comply, we have a very strongly worded letter that when we go to the judge to say he failed to comply, we can see that for a civil contempt charge because it was very clear that we made every.
Okay, let's get the pool running on.
Underestimate your opponent and think
TJ,
that
hang
they're
on.
gonna
TJ. Yeah, I get it. Hang on. What, Kevin? What?
I want to start a poll running on will Kyle return the channel and how long it'll take him. I got $10 that'll say it'll happen at the very end of 2 weeks if it happens at all. Who's with me?
I already have a pizza riding.
Oh yeah, talk about
Yeah, well, hang on. Let's go through this real quick. Because by the way, Monia's at work. She messaged me earlier. She'll be here when she can. So, Ruhif, you've read the letter, and it's pretty strongly worded, and it's basically asking for all the accounts. What the hell are people doing? Are they molesting each other? This is turning into the weirdest hangout I've ever seen.
Worry about
People are doing stuff with their bodies that they shouldn't be doing on YouTube.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
It is when it's on YouTube.
It's a rum and coke night.
Consenting.
It's a rum and coke night. You guys are an hour and a half into it. Do you
Seriously.
really want to ask what's going on?
Yeah,
what
right?
you can't see on camera.
Yeah.
Think
Right, I
about
was
it.
gonna say, like, come on, don't take our fun away.
I would never take your fun away. Vegan, you know
Drunkenness
that.
at play here, right? Yeah.
Vegan, I would never stop you from having fun.
Hey, what I do on rum and coke night isn't your business, Steve. Stop kink shaming.
My rum and coke night.
Yeah, if you want to be a prude, we'll just take this to my channel.
Right? We will link you.
They always do. Vegan, they always do. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. What happened to Ruhif? He just vanished. Where'd he go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there you are. So, what's your prediction?
Oh, he's not going to do it. Like, he's got this self-destructive streak in him, just saying fuck you to everyone, and he's going to end up in jail. And he's going to deserve it, really.
Yeah.
So.
Is that your prediction too? Because I think he's going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be arrested for not handing over the channel. He'll definitely be arrested for ignoring the payment order.
Now, see what I'm looking forward to is I really want
That's
to
the
see
same
the
order,
cop
by the
chase.
way, though.
That seems a little harsh.
I just want to see the cop chase. I want to see him fuck it up so bad that we, see something on the news about him having to get pulled over and stuff.
Well, I had brought up in the Shills pre-show when I was in the Shills, and we were talking about like, hey, wouldn't it be kind of cool to see the police body cam footage of him getting arrested?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, because by the way, there's like 12 things he has to hand over that we itemized.
Yeah,
so
shitload of accounts. Yeah.
Shitload of accounts.
See, I want to see the body cam, but I want to watch him go full sovereign citizen. That would be the best. No, but it'd be fun to watch.
The culmination of everything, he just goes full sovereign citizen. You don't have the empowerment.
Oh man, that'd be nuts.
I mean, of course, I don't want to actually see that, but I like talking about it.
So, Steve, I actually have a serious question, which might also be for Ruhif, which is, let's say, like, worst case scenario, so Kyle just refuses to do anything. He gets arrested, and even after arrest, he's just like, no, I'm just not going to give it over. Because, I mean, what are you going to do short of torturing me?
Well, we can approach, with the court order, we can approach the individual companies and say, look, here's our court order, handing over the accounts to Steve, and they will abide by that.
Right, that was my question.
That's something that we can definitely do. But in the interim, because we don't have the books like that, Kyle will be sitting in jail the entire time. I have a feeling.
Okay, yeah, because that was my question. Is like, okay, so let's just say Kyle doesn't do anything. Can you go to the companies in question? Like, can you go to YouTube and say,
There's
"Here's a
ways
court
of doing
order"?
that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Well, I figured that was the case, but I thought it would be good to have that be explicitly pointed out.
I mean, I just want to know who's giving him advice, because everything he's ever been told was just bad advice from day one.
So, was anybody giving him advice? I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he was making stuff up, but he had no. He just didn't give a fuck.
No, I think he had some people still trying to guide him a little bit. I can't demonstrate.
There were some indications that he was getting advice from something at the beginning, and then he stopped giving those indications.
Yeah,
someone
like
messaged me.
Like a friend.
Yeah, friend. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, someone messaged me and said they knew the name of the lawyer.
Well, yeah, it's Kyle's lawyer. He's in the chat sometimes.
I know the name of the law firm. I can confirm that.
You
do? Do we cheat him and how?
Yes.
I thought it was Dunning and Kruger, attorneys at law.
They were the partners on the case.
Oh, that's awesome.
Trina, you got to come in here. There's no choice.
Again, I hear Kyle's lawyer might be taking on a partner real soon anyway, because he was very impressed with someone who interviewed Kyle the other day. So,
oh God.
So he might.
I watched about 90 minutes of that interview. And
hey, do you guys want to know the deleted comments that person who interviewed Kyle left that were deleted from the Non-Sequitur channel?
Read them.
I have those.
Read them now, girl.
Oh, God.
Yeah, fuck it.
Chesh,
Do it, girl. Do it, girl.
Considering what Ruhif just said, you could. I wish I had the actual comment. I only have that paraphrase. That's a pretty good one that should be shared for the benefit of everyone.
The one that's, hey, don't worry, Kyle, your orange jumpsuit's in the mail.
No, it said like, Kyle, you need to pay your bill. Your orange suit is ready to be delivered.
That's brutal.
I'm not listing off the name of the person who posted this and it got deleted, but I will say they recently interviewed Kyle. And here's the comments that were deleted.
I wonder who that is.
It could be so many people.
From the future, the video called "The Future of Non Sequitur plus Queer Eye for the Baptist Guy." These are the words of a thief, dictator, and a liar. You're lying. You admitted Steve owns half. You doing more work doesn't take away his half. You admitted perpetuity on recording. I can't believe GE sits there and says nothing. Spineless.
Like African.
On the video Pride Show featuring Mr. Atheist, What a Weekend. Oh, that's Mr. Atheist. Mr. Atheist sucks. The money eyes and the money tongue sticking out.
Jimmy
And then
Snowjob.
GTA Non Sequitur Edition.
I just gotta say, like, okay, all the Mr. Atheist Kyle streams just turn into like LGBTQ gossip hour, and it's like, look, I don't think that that's content that shouldn't exist or something, whatever. But it's not why anyone subscribed to the Non Sequitur show. I didn't subscribe for that. No one else did. Why is it there?
Because you're trying to get Mr. Atheist subs.
Because it fits a narrative, man.
Yeah.
Well, no. So
and Mr. Atheist didn't agree with me on certain things, and anybody who doesn't agree with me automatically has to like character assassinate me, like he tried to do.
I've got a really important question, actually. Why did we stop hassling Trina to come in?
Because she's with her kid.
Good reason.
That's very
legit.
It's kind of an instant defeater, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta go get and be with my kids. I just want to come in and say hi, but you know what?
Good to see you again, Nick.
Nick,
good to see everybody. Thank you all so much.
Bye.
But everybody tell Trina we love her. We love you, Trina.
We love you too.
We love you,
Trina.
Trina. Say it.
Trina.
We love you,
I
Trina.
know who you are.
Trina.
Yes.
Although
I'll talk to you later.
Trina's like the dream girl that you'll never have, and you know you can't. But so you might as well just like.
Trina needs to stop asking me if I'm married to Chesh. Until we go public, stop asking.
Apparently, everybody's married to Chesh.
Right?
Yep, everyone's married to Chesh.
Well, I thought AT2 was married to Chesh.
He is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, Jareth, the Goblin King,
worry.
AT2, me, Reds, everyone.
I'm not married to
No,
her.
not everyone.
Don't
I'm not married to Chesh. She owes me artwork, so.
Yes.
I can confirm that I am not married to Chess.
If I was married to Chess, I'd be divorced from her in a matter of a week. Are you kidding me? Hell with that.
Hello. Do I have to remind everyone we're waiting for the grand announcement of us showing the Mormons how to do polyamorous relationships right for at least another 2 weeks?
That's right here. We have.
I feel attacked right now.
We have 19
Poly
people in
pride,
here. There
poly
you go.
pride.
One big polyamorous love fest.
That's right. Poly
Can I
pride.
just?
I'll start with
Can you
vegan.
guys
I don't
give me
mind.
some advice? I have a very serious thing I could use advice about. So, as a Christian, I want to have a traditional marriage. Can anyone tell me how to convince my fiance that 1,000 wives and concubines is a good idea? King Solomon
Well,
did
hang on.
it.
When you say traditional, does that mean you eliminate everything like other than missionary?
Well,
no, he just said he wants 1,000 concubines.
Oh, you want
wives and concubines?
Well, dude,
Nothing wrong with that.
The best thing to
if
do
you're
is
going for
immerse
a
her in the experience.
if you're going for a traditional marriage, why do you need her permission?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're the man of the house, damn it. You're the man.
Go.
You tell them.
Problematic sentences.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Do you need a copy of the transformed wife?
Oh God, no.
I will say this: if you want to go the traditional route, it does mean that each one of those wives and concubines you have to financially support. So that might be a reason why 1,000 is unreasonable.
Are you kidding? They can all get jobs.
Yeah,
But what if the
eternity? What's
Traditional. They don't have
to be
jobs other than like sewing clothes or helping on your farm a little bit.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's a
called an
modern
assembly
traditional
line.
marriage.
You need to do a
modern
dowry
traditional.
versus
I mean, who knows,
usefulness
maybe-
ratio.
No, Dapper, you're not getting it. That's called an assembly line.
Fair
That's
enough.
revenue, brother.
Besides, I do enough geek conventions that I think 1,000 seamstresses could totally be profit making.
Yes, the
And not only
cosplays-
Not only that, though, is supporting them financially. You have to satisfy every single one of them.
Well, no, he only has to satisfy them equally.
Yeah, so you know, a different one every
So if
night.
all
You work through all of them over
it's all
3 years.
fine.
Ignore them all.
They have to all be taken care of.
No.
Sorry, my roommate just came
Word.
by and he's like, my knife was like over by your stuff. I'm like, yeah, it was in the trash, and I pulled it out of the trash. Like, why is somebody throwing a knife? And I put it like.
Look, I'll just go to the Muhammad example. So we'll back out a little bit from biblical traditionalism. Let's go with the Muhammad example.
We're going to start talking about kids. I don't want to get into that.
You can sacrifice
Yeah. How young are you going to go?
concubines. Well, okay, we're not going to go with the age thing. We're just going to go with the marital status thing. Because I don't want Steve to get completely kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah.
What happened?
Why not?
His channel back.
Half
Let's
of
not go
YouTube
there.
does, Dapper.
Okay, so we'll go with the Islam example, where your concubines, you don't have any particular obligations other than to not let them die.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if your wives feel like maybe you'll divorce them because they're old or whatever, they can give up their nights for the younger wives. So that's what happened with
I
Muhammad
have
and
the
his.
solve. Okay. I have the solve. The solve is mutual masturbation. And go.
So wait,
That's
just
always a good idea.
Problem solved. Okay. Just
solves- does
buy
that
a
solve a
bunch
lot
of
of problems?
Hitachis. Okay, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we get the problem solved right
I think
here.
we should do.
Just tell them to get back on the pile.
I think we should do a whole episode of that non sequitur.
Hey, you know what?
That's a brilliant idea.
Oh, how about this? I got an idea. I got a brilliant idea. No, I got a brilliant idea. Hey, Cheshire, how about this? Non sequitur after dark on Pornhub.
Ooh,
Wow.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's very fucking
Of all places.
Are we doing this strip math then?
Hey, when you
We'll
want to
have a whole bunch of stuff, vegan.
Oh, yeah, and if you have me involved in that, I'll be
when
very
you
sad.
want to talk about intromittent organs that aren't mammalian, pseudo penises, let me know because I know a whole bunch about all that stuff.
All I heard was pseudo penises.
Exactly. That's all you need to hear.
Apparently,
We're already intrigued.
You and Jackson Wheat have a real big thing for background.
Okay, so the Jackson Wheat thing was cetacean penises, and those are actual penises. How about this?
Those are actual penises.
Bed bugs. Bed bugs.
Okay, the bed bugs spear their mates.
Okay, here's the thing. A bed bug, right? The male bed bug stabs his pseudopenis traumatically into the female bed bug's abdomen, and just shoves a bunch of sperm in there after he punctures through her, despite the fact that she has a perfectly functional gonopore that he could use, but no.
I know. Why waste a good gonopore?
Are we gonna go on? Are we gonna move on to ducks? Are we gonna move on to ducks and screw
the
penises?
corkscrew.
Oh yeah,
The corkscrew
corkscrew rape
penis. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
I'm just thinking of what is it? The mollusk that has the biggest penis of all the animal kingdom compared to the size of its body.
So fucking demonetized.
Harassment.
You get into pseudo penises, and there's just so much to talk about. It's crazy.
Only you.
I feel like
much
we just
time.
talked about
Yeah.
this.
Anyways, hang on real quick. Rez wanted to get in here, so Rez.
Oh God, no.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Rez. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how you doing? Dapper, I just have to say I'm starting to regret my Patreon support there.
Rez,
Understandably so.
Honestly, if you're having any trouble with any of the money stuff, look, I do whatever you need to, man. I
wasn't serious.
Money from any. Well, okay.
Don't ignore the dinosaur. He's drunk.
No,
He's very drunk.
Tequila and serrano
He's going to be
peppers.
talking about dinosaur penises.
Rez was a patron for a long time. Canceled for a bit. Look, you do whatever you need to, Rez. I really.
Way to just fucking expose him on a live stream, you fucking dick.
I'm sorry. Rez. Really, seriously, though.
We already talked about this in chat, so it's fine.
Yeah, like seriously,
you know.
Like, it's absolutely fine, dude. You
Can we go back to masturbation?
Yeah, absolutely. We can go back to masturbation.
Well, you have those
That's
little
all right.
fuzzy.
I'm looking forward to the next
How do you
video,
do
dude.
that? You have your hands are so stubby. I don't even know.
Look, there's such a thing as toys.
You ever seen
There
the dog?
is.
He's holding 2 selfie sticks. That's how he uses the keyboard.
Dude, he has a couch.
This is how we play we need to play a game. Guess the toy.
So
There you
go ahead.
Oh, there you go. Non-Sequitur After Dark. We play Guess the
go
Toy.
ahead.
But I have to say, my
Oh
fiance.
my God, we could be talking about my totally exciting view out the front of my windshield, but instead, this is what we get.
That's a beautiful view.
I was
That's a
wondering about
beautiful
that.
view, by the
You
way.
think I'm kidding? I don't think it's a bad idea. I wouldn't be on Pornhub, but I mean, I think whatever service I can allow for a little
Okay,
more
let's
adult
be on
stuff.
Pornhub.
Yeah, I don't know how to do.
Whoever will tolerate it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, thank you.
I'm gonna have some
Technically, you
weird
could-
shit.
But more
to
adult
explain to my wife.
conversations, like legit adult conversations.
So technically, you could put the Deaf and Non Sequitur on Pornhub on the grounds that you're watching Carl fuck himself in real time, but
I
He's
have
got a
a
point.
To Jeff.
drink all over my keyboard on that one. That was
Oh Lord,
great.
no.
So, Steve, do you know about all the gun channels that went from YouTube to Pornhub when YouTube started just to get rid of gun channels?
I've heard that, but they've cracked down on them now, and they're trying to get rid of them all.
I think I've broken TJ.
There's a precedent for people going from YouTube to Pornhub because
For guns.
well, for guns, but also there could be stuff like it's like okay, this would be normally non sequitur stuff, but it's a little bit.
Well,
I like the Non-Sequitur After Dark or Non-Sequitur Risque or something.
Oh,
Doesn't
I
have to be like
guess I can
explicit, just a
understand
little.
gun channels going to Pornhub. I mean, you do blow your load, so we.
Load that
Yeah,
gun
true.
in your wallet.
You do like watching flat earthers get fucked, don't you?
Oh yeah, and we could do the thing where Chesh puts her feet in cream cheese.
Oh my God.
Cheetos.
Do I get to
That
lick
sounds
Vegan
utterly
use tofu?
disgusting. That's like ew. Ugh.
I gotta give you guys credit.
And I like cream cheese.
Seen Pornhub? I mean, that's
I'll
kind
never
of
eat it again.
10 years in radio, 5 years on YouTube. This is by far the weirdest conversation I've ever been involved in.
Rum and Coke Nights like
Well,
that.
Really?
You wouldn't get on very many conversations with me. That's what it is.
It's so
Fuck,
funny.
man,
I'm holding back.
Kevin, people.
But I've talked to people that like channel Dracula and crap.
Kevin,
so that's sort of
I don't think this is the weirdest conversation I've ever been involved in, but it is out there.
I can make
This
it
is like a
weird.
PG.
Oh, I've seen what you can
I
do.
believe the
Yeah,
last
I've seen what you can do.
horrendous tremendously weird
Kevin.
conversation I was in was on a rum and coke night too.
Well,
all you drunk bastards.
the rum and coke nights are supposed to be a fun night, and a lot of people have fun on
I'm
rum and
having
coke
a blast.
Hang on, Kevin. Hundreds of people have fun on rum and coke nights, either watching or participating. It's come to be a cultural icon of sorts, and you still have people that are so butthurt and jealous that it's like, oh my god, they're having fun on rum and coke night. And by the way, that's all I've had. I've had the same glass of fucking scotch I started with.
Oh fuck! I'm 3 ciders in.
That's all I don't even drink that much. Same fucking bottle of
the
scotch.
biggest shit that he's ever been on. It's like so fucking weird. There's no way that you can't fucking say that this is great.
This is great.
Fucking great.
We love this.
The only legitimate complaint that we get for rum and coke night is that people are talking fucking over each other, but there's 18 people, so what the fuck are we supposed to do?
I haven't been in a cold lodge since my World of Warcraft raiding days.
Oh, I know, right?
I just realized something. If we do the Chesh's feet and cream cheese thing, I can then do a dinosaur foot and cream cheese thing for all the scalies.
I feel like you've been building up to this.
Yeah, it can be a whole thing. Because
I think the entire internet is building to this moment.
When I hear the word scalers, I think you're talking about a girl with psoriasis or something.
I feel like that Dapper Dino just started off this conversation and is trying to work towards that.
He really is.
Hey,
I think you're right.
I've really been trying to get into this shit
I'm not
lately,
saying you're
but no one
wrong.
will
I'm not saying you're right either. I'm just going to say
really getting to him.
a little bit neutral, but also put it out there that, you know what? If Chess or the Non-Sequitur show starts a Pornhub channel about stepping in cream cheese, I can help.
Oh no, sir. I don't think that it would come to that. Why would it come to that?
Why wouldn't it?
Why wouldn't it? Why would it?
Because
why wouldn't it is the greater point.
Are you shaming all the foot fetishists and the cream cheese fetishists and the scaly fetishists? Because that's what it sounds like.
$2 super chat. Adam Morgan. Today was a good day. I hope all of you had one too. We had a great day today. I had
a great day.
I had a good
very good day.
I spent all day reading deleted Non Sequitur show comments, and I don't even know how far in I am.
You're just getting into the rabbit hole, girl.
That's what
That's
so,
like,
Chesh.
I was having.
Trina wants to know how deep you're in. Actually, she says.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I can't even
leave
tell
a trail of breadcrumbs so that we can find you. If
but
you
you generally
lost.
go. You generally go deep.
Normally you can feel how deep you are. Just how deep does it feel? Because when you're going in, you can usually feel.
You got to gauge.
Well, I mean, it's definitely way over my head. That's for sure.
Well, she's short.
I'm short.
Yeah, you are tiny.
Yeah. I spent most of my day driving across Nebraska.
Cheshire. Look at Cheshire is
Let me
so
give you a
small. Hang on.
comment.
Cheshire is so small that her first lesbian experience was 2 days of trying to climb back out.
Wait, that happened.
And demonetized.
This is demonetized ages ago.
I don't think I've ever had a monetized rum and coke. Nut. Are you kidding me?
I think they're going to remonetize this just to demonetize it again.
I mean, I'm about this far away. Like, I am inches away, like hours away of watch time to being monetized. But now the first thing YouTube is gonna see when they look at my channel to see if it should be monetized is gonna be Reds pretending to jerk it, reading the fucking.
That was hilarious.
By the way, newsflash, Chesh. Wait. By the way, newsflash. He wasn't pretending.
I was gonna say.
Hey Steve, can I address something really quick from somebody in the chat that keeps messaging me?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's probably boring, and I don't know how many people actually are really interested
Doesn't matter, it's your
in
fault.
driving a truck. In order to drive a truck, you need to go down and take a CDL test. You have to get a learner's permit. It's much like getting your regular driver's license, only it's for commercial drivers. License. I believe now you actually have to have a school accreditation, so you need to find a school, go to the school. They'll usually help you out through all of the testing. All of your endorsements are simple tests. You take the tests, pass the tests, you get the endorsements. And then you have to go find a company that will hire a student driver, and you get your years of experience, and then you can generally go wherever you'd like.
I'll be right back.
How it works.
So can we come ride with you?
No.
No. How about? I think the question is, Sandra, can we come ride you?
Ooh.
No, you can't do that either.
I've talked to you about lot lizards before.
Let him tell the rest of the story. Just hush.
That was the rest of the story.
People are heavy, so I don't feel like carrying anyone.
That was a week out, dude.
You're adorable.
He's basically saying vegan. Thanks, but no thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's basically
Kill her
it.
self-esteem.
Yeah. I'll get over it though, but I'm about to have a bad day because I am all out of my drink. So I'm gonna.
Did you not come prepared?
I did. I just
No, it's generally size issues.
I'll have some more rum on your
Not that I like to admit that I have size issues, but the inside of my cabin sleeper are pretty small, and when you put 2 people in here and then try and drive across the country, you better know them really well and not mind being all up in their junk, because it will happen at some point. That's how small it is in here.
That's not
So yeah, I
if you've
don't.
got enough skill, you can make it fit.
Right. You just
I'll be a little
lay on top of
Stack on top of each other.
Okay, right? Like, come on.
Who wants a Sandra to be big spoon?
This is not hard. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of truck driving,
When a woman
there's
tells you
one
that,
thing
vegan, it's not usually a good thing.
There's a thing I appreciate.
Legit.
At my last job, I used to drive a lot between Phoenix and Albuquerque, right? And there's a truck stop in the Hopi Reservation that has like 3 dinosaur statues. And I thought that was great because every time I would drive, it was just about the time where I was like, you know what? I need some food. So I'd stop at the Hopi Reservation truck stop. I'd admire the dinosaurs and I'd get a burger. And I appreciate that about trucking. Also, I appreciate the time that there was a casino truck stop and I slept because I started driving at 3 a.m. for some stupid reason.
Vegan,
There's a lot of cool things at some of the truck stops. There's several truck stops that have dinosaur statues. Go to just about any Sinclair station and you'll see a nice green one out front. Just about every one has one of those.
Like every Sinclair gas station, whether it's a truck stop or not. But these were like unique. They made them for the truck stop dinosaurs. And like if you're a Facebook friend of mine, you can find them on Facebook. If you're not, then I don't care. You don't get the money.
How did you feel about that, sir?
Oh, I liked it. It was like an homage.
Real quick, vegan, do you have bourbon?
Yeah, I do. I was just thinking about it. I was like, I have a little bit of bourbon left, so I'm thinking I might have to switch to that.
The anti-Onision group is going ham right now against Billy.
Because Billy, so Billy really, I gotta know. So Billy really does associate with Onision still?
No, he does not. He's made it clear that he no longer associates with Onision. He hasn't hung out with Onision ever. All he literally did tonight was go to his house and basically did what Chris Hansen could not do: get Onision to talk. Of course, Billy is not Chris Hansen. He's not a fucking professional journalism. He's not any of that. He's a fucking rapper and a comedian. He's co-host of a fucking comedy show called The Drunken Peasants. And people expect Billy the Fish to be a quote-unquote professional journalist.
So why did Billy take it upon himself to do so?
I mean, Chris Hansen is the pedo slayer, dude.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hey, okay, why did he take it upon himself to do that then?
I don't. Well, first of all, that he wanted to go to the actual court thing because today was the Onision versus Chris Hansen versus Repsion court in Seattle today.
Oh Lord!
And, but when that original plan fell out the freaking water because Billy got a flat tire literally as the stream started, so they missed the court, and also the court only lasted 15 minutes because Onision flat out dismissed his own case.
Did he really?
Brilliant.
Yes, both of them. And,
Fuck, I would have gone to see that. God damn it.
So that kind of Onision's bullshit kind of fell all through.
See, until a couple of days ago, I had never heard of Onision, and then this stuff starts appearing all over my YouTube. So I watched some videos last night, and I really wish I hadn't.
Oh yeah, he's creepy.
Yeah.
In
a way, though,
Jackie Glenn has been telling you guys that shit for fucking a long time.
Mm-hmm.
She's been trying to tell you guys that he's a fucking piece of shit, and people have fucking doubted her and fucking talked shit about her. and now it's born. All that shit has been born out to be true.
I've never liked Onision. The only thing that I thought he was the one banana thing I thought was marginally funny. That was years and years ago. Other than that, I don't know fuck all about the guy until recently, and I'm like, I don't get into that side of YouTube. But Egghead, did you want to try to get Ben to drop by?
What was that?
Did you want to try to get Ben to drop by?
Maybe. I don't know if Billy's back in Seattle right now. I know that he's still live streaming.
Oh, he's live streaming right now?
Yeah, he's been going on a long ass time. It's a Billy IRL. I think it's like, let me see his channel. Because I know he's doing an IRL stream. Billy IRL. The search on YouTube, Billy IRL. Yeah, Billy the Fridge IRL is his YouTube channel, and he says he's live right now. It's still a lot of people are watching.
Okay, never mind then.
You know what?
I was going to say something about that Onision court case thing, because I heard that got kicked out like immediately. I think this is another example of what happens when people don't hire lawyers. Really,
he didn't even show up with a lawyer.
I wonder if that's a bad idea. We should ask Kyle.
Yeah, how did no lawyer work out for him?
Exactly.
You know what? I think it's time to remind everyone, Steve just won big, and so did all of us. So cheers, Steve, once again.
Indeed.
Cheers, all of us.
I mean, it's a huge win. I'll be a lot happier when all that stuff's actually transferred to my name and we can get going. Because right now, he has two options: transfer it by the deadline or go to jail. I don't see any other options.
Oh, I don't either. And you know what?
It kind of forces his hand. And I know he doesn't want to go back to jail.
You know what? I have been waiting for so fucking goddamn long to resubscribe to that channel. And when it actually happens, it's going to be such a great day. Because holy shit, it has been far too long of a time for Steve to get justice on this one. Because you know what? I don't give a shit what you think about Steve. If he's a nice guy or he's an asshole, whatever. Steve was cheated out of that channel, and it was absolutely not okay. And that's why I made a video about it, because normally I wouldn't, because it's off topic for me. But fuck, that was not okay. And I'm just so glad that the courts have been like, no, it wasn't. Here's a judgment. Here you go. The channel is yours.
Yeah,
it was bullshit from the start.
It was, but I just wish that he would have showed up. I think a lot of us would have preferred if he did.
I don't think it would have made. Well, I know it would have made a difference at the end.
I don't. Well, obviously, it probably wouldn't have, but it would have been, I think, a little bit more satisfying, because then we would be able to actually have him admit to the court.
That was the main reason.
It might have been.
We wanted to see him lose the argument.
Exactly. People wanted to know why.
Yeah.
Well, I have an overall understanding of what happened. I mean, of course, a lot of it is, I have to admit, is subjective to some degree. But I do. I mean, if you really piece together the and you do it properly, you'll see a transition. You'll see those that became Kyle and Friends, rather than NonSequitur show. And I think that was the vast majority of it. And he started listening to the wrong people. He started listening to people who were like, well, Steve's angering people on Twitter. Who the fuck cares? It's Twitter. That was part of the controversy. That's people actually like that. And the people that didn't want to come on, fuck them. There's fucking 8 billion people in the world. 4 billion of them are competent enough to come on, probably. I mean, we can get people to come on. That's not an issue. But when you start catering to a small group, people that I do not want to have any contact with. By the way, a lot of them went from before we even started the NonSequitur show, so they weren't even a core part of the audience. That's what he was more concerned about. He wanted to make about Kyle and Friends, and I'm like, bullshit, dude.
Here's the
I was going to say something about the guests. Actually, I seem to recall he saying that all these guests were going to come on once Steve was gone. Who was the one guest Kyle actually managed to get on after Steve was gone?
He got G-Man and Joe.
Say no more.
The butter picker Joe.
Kyle lost to fucking G-Man in a...
Yeah. So what happened to all that? What happened to all the people that said they wouldn't come on? None of them went on. The only people he could get would be the co-host.
Well, except for G-Man, to whom he lost,
and to whom he would say would never go on non-sequitur. He said that would never happen.
That was for the wrong reasons for Kyle. The best episode of the post.
Look,
fraud.
Kyle was basically
watch that just to see G-Man win a debate.
I think Kyle, whether this is explicit or not, I think he was being at least implicitly told that he was the show, and I'm probably explicitly as well. And I think that a lot of people had convinced him that he was the talent.
Doing some stuff that, yeah.
I mean, does anybody agree or disagree on that? I'm kind of curious, but I think that's the overall thing is that he thought he was, because he said, he's like 95%. He thought he was the show.
Yeah, well, the thing is that if you look at especially the earlier episodes of the Non-Sequitur show, he was a good co-host. He really was. I'm not going to take that away from him.
I did say he wasn't. Yeah, of course he was.
Yeah, Steve, you and he had a good dynamic.
You had a great chemistry.
Until he got other people involved. As soon as he started getting them involved.
Here's the thing. I did, like I've said before, I did radio for 10 years. I was one of the first internet radio shows. I've done YouTube for 5. I've learned a couple of lessons. And 2 of the biggest that relate here are, 1, controversy sells. Hmm? Yeah, you pissed people off. You know what? That gets you listeners. That doesn't lose listeners. My mentor, the guy who got me started in radio, people hated him. We were one of the biggest shows of the day. We rivaled Art Bell for listeners because people hated him.
Yeah, well, I go on talk shows and they say, okay, hey, welcome Steve McRae from the Great Debate Community or Non-Sequitur Show, one of the most controversial people around. When I'm really not, but you know what?
You really aren't.
I'm really not, but to them,
not at all.
Shut up. No, I'm not. But it's funny because that's how they built me, and I'm like, I have to think about it. I'm like, what the hell am I controversial? I was on S.A. Thomas's channel. I'm like, how the hell am I, of all people, controversial? Because the stuff I don't talk about, or stuff I do talk about, I don't find to be very controversial topics for the most part. I maybe a little bit, but they're really.
But
Steve, you're controversial.
That's the other side of it. Is
we can be brash, but that's
not controversial.
Controversial to snowflakes, maybe.
Yeah, it's snowflakes. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
I honestly think the reason that people consider Steve controversial is because people who are perhaps more famous than he is are people that he won't defer to. You disagree with Matt Dillahunty, and you're not going to just be like, oh, well, Matt Dillahunty, more people know your name than mine, so whatever, I'll kowtow.
Well, they'll do it to theists. They'll challenge theists and stuff like that. But if you're like an atheist or a non-believer, and you say, hey, look, at Matt or Aaron, I think you have some problems here, they don't really care.
Well, that's like what you pointed out with.
I'm not an easy target for them. I'm not low-hanging fruit.
It's like what you pointed out with the Kyle thing, where you were like, hey, if Kyle were a Christian who were doing this same thing to his Christian donors or whatever, would the atheists be calling him out? And of fucking course they would.
Absolutely, they would. We all know this for a fact. He was shielded because of that. Liet Lumo for $5. A dinosaur, a goblin, an egghead, a controversial McRae, a sweet heathen, and a gal without any crystal balls enters into a bar. Love you all.
What do you do?
And
nobody remembers anything after that.
I see a new joiner.
We have a joiner?
I do too. It's
yes, I saw.
Who? Manya?
Manya's here.
Oh, Manya, my love.
Hey. Manya's here.
Hi, Manya.
Hello, everybody.
What's happening?
Manya, we're all going to marry you too, by the way. In the same night. The honeymoon's going to be a blast.
Oh,
it should be very interesting.
A complicated way of marriage.
What is it? Is it like, how do we do that, Vegan? Do we take a number, or I don't know how that works?
As I said,
is this a free for all? We're just like
probably. I just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
It's like sweet. It's like King of the Hill. Is that how you would do it?
No. As number one wife, I think I dictate the order.
Bottom bitch takes over. You see this?
Okay.
Where's Manya's peanut butter?
Yeah, where's the peanut butter?
Where's the peanut butter? I need the peanut butter.
By the way, Sweet, you only signed that number one wife figuratively, okay? It was only signed figuratively.
Yeah, how is that determined?
It's determined because I say so. And Steve, are you going to argue with me?
Do you have emails on it?
Oh fuck, she
Evidence.
took control. All right, there it is.
You need to
No,
solve
I can
this
argue with it.
Don't argue with
peacefully
it.
and like adults. Roll dice.
I will kick everyone
I
else
have-
out
I
of
have
here except
earned
for
my
Sweet.
position.
Yeah, okay, so.
It's a rock, paper, scissors elimination
Anyways,
tournament.
Wanda, welcome.
No, dice.
I'm on the side of the dice. The dice side.
I got piles of D6s around me.
Oh, me
It's fine,
too.
I'm a merciful mistress.
I have a D100 candy.
Nice. But no, I run a weekly Shadowrun game, so we have buckets of D6s.
You can't be singing.
Oh, I run a weekly D&D game, and I just kicked out a player
Nice.
for no show. So that's fun.
We just wrapped up our D&D game, so we switched to Shadowrun.
Oh, fun.
I've been
Yeah.
told we we're going to have a D&D game for so long, and I haven't played.
I haven't
Steve.
played D&D since. Yeah. that
Get
was-
me some players together, I'll run you a game online.
How about D&D?
Any of you,
How about D&D?
Put it on
After
YouTube.
Dark? We're going to play
here's
like
my offer.
Sexy Goblins.
Any of you who are on D&D, or sorry, who are on Twitter and can find me, or Facebook and can find me, send me an offer to play. We start tomorrow at 2 p.m. MST / 1 p.m. Or Pacific time / what is that? 4 p.m. Pacific or Eastern.
Yeah.
Send me a message, and you can be a dinosaur character who's a rogue and who completely 100% thinks that his girlfriend isn't cheating on him.
Nice.
Okay, then.
Wow.
I'm down for this.
Beautiful.
Okay.
If I got time,
I
I'd
was
do
like,
it.
can I ask a quick question? Am I the only person in this hangout who's never played D&D in his life?
No, I've
No.
not
I've
played.
also not played D&D.
Dapper.
Nope.
I have to ask,
Okay,
was
you-
that
I'm
a subtle cry
I'm
for
not
help?
alone. I'm not alone.
I've
I
never
played once and I committed suicide.
So here's, we have a question for Cheshire.
You should
We're not
watch
gonna-
Man Shorts if you like D&D. You should watch Man Shorts.
This isn't a
Oh,
question,
yes,
this is-
absolutely.
This is a statement
Yeah.
for Cheshire. So Cheshire, you ready for this?
2 votes.
You get your input on it. Ready? Steve needs to find a brand new co-host on Non-Sequitur, in my humble opinion. Someone fresh who knows nothing about the backstory and wasn't involved. What do you say to that, Chesh? What do you say to that?
I don't even think she's here.
Well, that it's like, you know.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I'd
not
say
seeing her
Craig
name in the
close
group.
enough.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
Okay, because I
2
know
out of
some
3
people
ain't
weren't feeling
bad.
well, and some other people had to take off. So
Well, I think, Steve, what you need to do is you need to find a very attractive co-host who you have a good chemistry with. Oh, wait, you already have one.
exactly. I got a couple others that can fill in too.
It's almost
Wait
as if
till
we already
Sweet
have
Heathen
the
gets
first
going. Yeah, she got some stuff to say.
Oh,
drinking-
No, you guys
she's-
work really well together.
Sweet Heathen has drinking out of smug. What better chemistry you need?
Oh yeah,
She got smug.
but Lady Luma has
very
a
trained.
super chat
It's so
for me.
appropriate.
Right.
This is so inappropriate.
I think
No, it's appropriate.
Steve, I think I got a super chat on your channel.
I'm inappropriate.
Did you?
Yeah. It says,
Yeah.
Dapper, do more blocks, Pit and the Pendulum. So what that's a reference to is I recently uploaded me reading The Raven onto my off-topic channel.
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, so I did The Raven on my off-topic channel because it's one of my favorite
Quote the
poems.
Raven Nevermore. Do you know actually one of my favorite albums?
Quote the
Actually,
Raven
the group,
Nevermore.
is a group that had.
Oh, yeah.
Ever
So
heard?
Sorry.
Ever listened to The Raven by Alan Parsons Project? That whole album.
I don't think I have
It's
seen
brilliant.
that or listened to it or whatever.
Oh.
But so I did my own reading of The Raven on my off-topic channel, which is called Top Hats, one word, off, because I'm taking the top hat off. I'm being less formal. It's off-topic. But you know what? Pit and the Pendulum is a good recommendation, and that probably is something that's coming soon. Now that you mention it, so stand by.
Great story.
It really is. And the thing is,
Poe
like,
was such a genius.
The album's called Tales of. Listen,
Poe
if you
was a
get
genius.
if you get a
actually.
chance, listen to
Yeah.
Tales of Mystery and Imagination.
yeah.
It's a really good album.
And the thing is, I gave the Raven some emotion to it. Like when so the thing is, the narrator kind of descends into madness as the Raven.
Oh, absolutely.
sits. Right.
You kind of try to fucking set it up where the
TJ, breathe.
It's okay.
It's okay,
So
man.
the thing
We'll
is,
think for you.
as
Hang
he
on.
as he descends into madness, my reading of his direct quotations of himself get increasingly crazy. So yeah, you know what? If you're one of my subscribers on my main channel, check out my off-topic channel because I do gaming shit and language creation shit, and apparently now I do poetry reading. Because
That's awesome.
why not?
I'm definitely
Post
gonna
it in
I'm
check
not
that
a
out.
sub, but I think I need to be.
Right. Post in the chat. We need a sub.
Mm-hmm.
I was
I
going to
will
say,
go find my link.
Super
I was going to
chat.
say,
Okay, I gotta go because I've got a shift in the next 6
Oh,
hours.
you just got
Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Hi, everybody saying we love you, Manya. We love
Thank
you.
you for
Good to
gracing
see you,
us with your
Manya.
presence, Manya.
Manya.
Hi, Manya. The peanut butter's back though.
I don't know.
Gonna,
I don't know if
I was
Manya's
going to say
back.
that.
But Steve,
I heard that. I heard that.
You're welcome, Anya.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Steve,
See ya.
Bye, Manya.
See ya.
All right, let me get
put
the
me
super
and
chat out
Manya
real quick.
in contact,
Hang on,
Steve,
Dapper.
because I think she would be a fun person to have on my channel for a hangout or something.
Yeah. Wassa 5000. Dapper Dino. Can I get a target? Can I target harass you about feathers? Yes, I've been totally
Target
stalking
harass.
him with feathers. I think he wants to
Steve,
target feather you with.
if you want to target harass me about feathers, do it, because chances are that I know as much as the average anyone that you're going to get on this topic. What is going on with that
Are we
video?
talking about a tickle fetish? Because I'm down.
Well, okay.
I like being tickled.
So, yes, but also we're talking about the development of feathers from filamentous integument structures.
You really know how to kill a
dinosaurs.
rum and coke night, Dapper.
Oh no. Tell me more.
See, Dapper, I would love to talk to you about
she
that.
likes it. See that?
Well,
Steve,
she's a pseudosexual.
she likes
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Well, okay. And you know what? I'm a smart fella, so stop blocking me. Stop.
Let me bring it around.
Blocking me.
Respect the dinosaur.
Respect the
Let me bring
dino.
it back around. Dino, what kind of tequila are you drinking?
This is so. The base of what I'm drinking is Jose Cuervo Gold, but the primary ingredient.
Oh, that's
no,
not
it's
tequila.
not. But I am putting significant amounts of serrano pepper in there.
Yeah, that doesn't make it tequila.
It's making me hungry.
It makes it
Right?
spicy, and it makes it spicy and alcohol. And you know what? That's what I'm
Dapper.
concerned with right now.
Dapper, you're drinking vodka, man. I hate to break it to you. You're drinking vodka.
But it's spicy vodka. So I don't give a shit.
That makes all the difference in the world.
That makes it.
I'm still
that
on the
makes it
same
tequila.
glass of scotch
I
that I
have-
poured initially.
I have
like
a
one
little.
finger.
I think it's time for me to fill up again.
Hold on, I got a
I'm
conundrum.
4 hard ciders in.
How do you guys
Mine-
drink
Tequila's
so
the one
much?
thing I can't drink.
This is a problem.
It is a problem.
Well, you got
It is
bourbon.
a problem.
Horrible
That is
problem.
a serious problem.
But
That's an alcohol problem.
Additionally,
Vegan, you have a drinking problem.
got a
You're out of
drinking
alcohol.
problem.
I would
What's
need
the problem?
to go grab it, but I'm not wearing pants.
Oh
So,
my!
That's
So
my
turn off your
You
camera.
might want to turn off
How's
the
that a
camera.
problem?
If you want. I prefer you
See,
don't,
that's
but-
a
I'm not
problem.
wearing pants.
Never wear pants.
I'm not wearing pants
Why
either.
either?
We're gonna see how this goes over when I go inside.
Oh shit, he's outside. Oh,
I'm
This
wearing
should be
pajama
interesting.
All right, unfinished journey, $2.
I dressed up from the
Filamentosis,
waist up.
inguente, grr.
Right. That's how you do it.
I guess that's a
Yeah.
Harry Potter thing.
Here's the
A
thing.
little,
Look
a little
at
nippy out here.
Look at any of my videos,
Pajamas.
and you know what? You know who's not wearing pants or pajamas or boxers or anything else besides a
Well, you're a
top?
dinosaur. How would you be?
Right.
Well, that's the thing. Well,
you don't
actually,
have long enough arms to pull it up.
Real quick, let me get this out.
Okay.
Unfinished journey, $2. Filamentius igmento. I think that's a grr. I guess that's a Harry Potter thing. And Lelitmo, $2 more. Last of my shekels. Manya is the unicorn bay. Yes, she is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Unicorn. Look at she's a very special case. Highly protective of Manya. Highly protective of Manya.
Only we are allowed to protect.
By the way,
I'm with you on that.
I'm allowed. I'm the only one that's allowed to protect her.
By the way, Steve, I'm going to correct you on my unfinished journeys super chat. It said filamentous integument. Grrr.
There you
go. So whoever my unfinished journey is apparently very attracted to filamentous integument. which dinosaurs have in abundance across multiple taxonomic ranks. So,
Speaking of dinosaurs having an abundance, I was looking for your off-topic channel, and I was like, 3.5k subs, that doesn't seem right. And then I found the right one. I was like, oh, 51 subs, that seems more like that.
yeah, that's more like it. 51 subs. That's the one that has the.
Well, you got 52 now, so.
Oh well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm actually probably gonna stream to that like tomorrow or the next day. I don't know.
Correction, 54.
Ooh,
I sub 2.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I post random crap on there. Like Chesh and I did a little bit of constructed language creation on the GDC before Steve took the managership back. Which, by the way, absolutely no problem with that. As Steve has already said, I didn't complain about it because you know what? It's his fucking channel.
Nobody complained about it, and I even took bullet meters away.
But I have been doing some construction language shit. So if you're enough of a nerd to want to pay attention to someone creating a language from scratch, go follow that channel because I'm making the
Links. Put all the links everywhere.
Links. Miles and miles of links.
I saw Moose. I want to get shit faced with Dapper and go to a natural history museum.
All right.
Oh my God.
There we go.
That sounds like fun.
Hang on, we're getting some echo here. We're getting some echo. Got to get rid of the echo. So hang on, Vegan, you got bourbon now.
I do. I turned off my cam so I could
There
go
you
to
go.
priorities.
Skillick says $2.
I can do this adulting thing, right?
Adulting, yes. This is called adulting. Skillick's £2. Some money for painting the Non-Sequitur Show studios. Nice. Yeah, thank you, by the way, for that, Skillick. It's funny you say about adulting. The people that I associate with are actual adults. They're actual people that are competent enough to make their own decisions and have a voice to do so. And yet people treat them like they're children, and I don't understand why. It's so demeaning.
Hi.
Well,
I came back.
Hi, Moon. Welcome back.
Moon.
Hi. Hi.
No, I
Speaking
don't
of adults,
I don't want
hi,
a receipt
Moon.
saying 666. Thanks.
Well,
$6.66 for my 4 drinks.
Nice. That happened to me not too long ago, and the cashier begged me to buy or take something back.
Are you kidding me? Stop it! No, I'm not buying that. That really happened.
And it was hilarious. I loved it. Like, no, it's perfect. And she's horrified.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this lady was too. She's like, you need to buy something else, man.
I'm like, it's okay. I'm an atheist.
You probably gave her a heart attack for the rest of her life. She probably felt she was cursed now. She's probably like...
She thought it, yeah.
For the record, as a resident Christian expert on demons, yeah, you're okay. I know you all needed to hear that.
This is what you do. You just stare at her dead in the eyes and go, "No, this is your warning," and then walk away.
Somebody tell me.
So Kevin, who's your
If you
favorite?
can, I did just walk away. I said no thanks. I bought what I wanted.
Kevin, who's your favorite demon?
Who's my favorite demon?
My favorite demon.
I forget the actor's name, but Lucifer from the TV series.
Okay,
is the
well,
same
no,
name.
I mean, like,
Tom Ellis.
Tom Ellis. And,
Thank you.
I love that.
Yes,
series.
I know that.
One of the best series.
Magic
ever.
is cool too.
Love that series.
I really prefer. I'm partial to Lucifer from Supernatural. But that's
He's good.
Really?
I like him.
No, Tom Ellis is better.
Okay.
I love it. I
Yes,
love it as an
definitely.
actor, and I love the character.
He's a good actor.
Okay,
but
but what about the cyber demon from Doom?
I would take Constantine over.
Too many bad memories of trying to survive fighting him.
Well, okay, that's fair. But just get good.
Have you? Okay, so Kevin, have you ever had a demon like get so strong that you're like, you've done what? Have you done exorcisms?
I've worked with exorcists. I'm not a priest, so I'm not an exorcist.
Okay, so you just please ask them nicely to get out.
Well, I'll get the evidence. To get an actual exorcist to do an exorcism, you need evidence. They won't just do it because, hey, I got a demon in my house. But
what if you do?
Well, then you get someone like me to get together audio recordings and photographs and eyewitness testimony and things like that.
So what you're saying is I should have you on for my next Kent with Bent, which is titled Kent with Bent 14, The Lennoxville Horror.
By all means.
I don't know if that's actually going to be okay with Beethoven, no relation, because when we get more than 2 or 3 people on, it gets crazy. But
Fair enough.
You know what? You find me on YouTube or Twitter, and
I think I found you on Facebook.
that seems unlikely, but it's possible.
I found somebody by Dapper Dino on Facebook.
That's not me.
The
There is actually another Dapper Dino somewhere, from what I recall.
Yeah, I love Crowley from Supernatural.
Some other
Crowley
dino.
was amazing.
Oh, Crowley was awesome.
He was the
So
best.
Crowley's the best demon. Lucifer's
Well,
the
I'll talk to. I'm sure I can talk to Steve and he can get us.
Have
in
you
touch.
have you guys seen Doom Patrol? Because Mark Shepard is actually in Doom Patrol 2.
Ooh.
Wait,
I
is that like
haven't, but I
Doom
checked it out. I do
Annihilation?
love Mark Shepard.
No, the show Doom Patrol, which is a Marvel comic.
DC Universe.
DC Universe from they're on Earth 21, I think it is.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah, dude, I haven't finished the whole series yet. I'm on like episode 8, but Doom Patrol is rocking, man. It's so it's basically these heroes that are kind of shitty at being a hero, but they're part of the whole
Led by James
Marvel
Bond,
universe
right?
thing.
Timothy Dalton.
Well, that's the crazy
Yeah,
thing
it's
about
Timothy
DC.
Dalton's in it. Yeah.
So the crazy thing about DC is it's like, oh, you have all sorts of great TV shows. Yeah, but your movies suck. But then you go to Marvel and it's like, oh, you have all sorts of great movies. Well, why do your TV
Right,
shows...
it's the opposite, right? I mean, look at what was that one TV show with? Okay, that was kind of a spin-off of Agents. What was the one that they had? It was like
Agents of
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but what was the spin-off they had? It was like so shitty. The Inhumans or something like that.
Oh, Inhumans was terrible.
It was fucking crap. It was absolute garbage.
Obviously, if nobody remembers it.
Yeah, it was bad. It was just bad.
I was going to say a couple of the Netflix Marvel ones were good though.
Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started off really good, and then the last season it got really worse. And I don't even know if I want to start the other. Well, the season that it has now, I don't even know if I want to even go into it. It was so bad the thing.
Okay, here's something I have to give to the Immortals though. So if you have VR, play Marvel Powers United, because one of the things you get to do is if you complete an achievement for like whatever it is in the campaign, you get to feed the gigantic dog little bones that you can toss to him in virtual reality, and it is the most adorable shit you have ever done. There's a virtual gigantic dog the size of like a triceratops, and you can toss him a bone and he'll eat it and give you a little loot pack. It is the cutest thing you've ever experienced, so I'll give that to Marvel.
Yeah, Daredevil was good. I like Daredevil. I didn't. Luke Cage was good. Jessica Jones. I didn't watch the last season, but I loved it when the season with David Tennant. God, he was brilliant.
Oh yeah.
And Iron Fist. I tried watching it. I wanted to kill myself.
Oh wait, how could I not say it? Favorite
Did you watch
demon?
Punisher?
Crawley from Good Omens.
Oh yeah, no, you got that.
Oh,
Crawley from Good Omens.
Good Omens was brilliant. Are they making another season?
Yeah, they did a good job on that.
No, Good Omens was done because the book was over.
Really? I thought they were doing more with that. I heard.
No, there's just the one season, and it was Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman.
Yeah,
and
Neil Gaiman.
Book was done, and Neil Gaiman's dead, or not.
All
Neil
the extra
Gaiman,
material they
Terry
have is
Pratchett.
in the TV series.
God, David Tennant was brilliant in that series. That if you guys haven't seen Good Omens, that was one of the best things I've ever watched. It was
well done.
Absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh,
it also confirms once and for all.
I loved Good Omens.
Wasn't it
was
good?
So fucking good.
That's the kind of shit that I
the
love.
reason the apocalypse hasn't happened is the Doctor fixed it.
The Doctor fixed it.
Every time.
I have to agree. I actually like Good Omens.
I'm not a big fan of this.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Wonderful. The book was great.
I'm not a big
I
fan
actually
of Doctor Who.
For some reason, modern TV just can't grab me.
Doctor Who kind
Am
of.
I
has-
echoing, or is somebody else echoing back at me?
Hold on, I think it might be me on mute for us.
Yeah, I think it was you. Yeah, Doctor Who. I don't get me wrong. I love her, but the problem is I think the writing sucks, and I think they've tried so hard to incorporate a lot of social things. They made it too over the top.
I'm way behind on the new Doctor.
I hate when shows do that.
Yeah, it was way in your face.
So that's the thing that's the thing I find about like the current Doctor Who and the current Star Trek is it's like you can't make it too close.
Oh God, you mean
to an analogy
STD?
for modern politics. Right, exactly. Like, okay, if you have a Trump standing character, then fuck off. You're making it way too on the nose.
Yeah. It's I don't like that stuff. I like the really subtle kind of things.
I will say
that was one thing I really hated about Supergirl when it started. It was so over the top feminine.
Yes.
Yep.
It was.
Yes.
You could
really
actually
wanted it
watch
to
the
be
show
good, but it
without
was-
feeling like
I noticed the same thing.
I was being yelled at.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing about?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to say one thing about Star Trek Discovery, that it was actually almost the first season was almost wholesalely ripped off from an indie video game, like down to the characters' hairstyles.
Oh yeah, there's an ongoing lawsuit.
Yeah, he's sued fucking CBS and Paramount.
I gotta tell you, the whole mushroom
did he already
thing.
win some of that, too?
What is it? What do they call the network? The mushrooms, fungus, the drive.
Oh, the mycelia.
Mycelia drive, or whatever it is.
Mycelio, because it's from the
Mycelial
word
drive.
Yeah, I mean,
like literally the tardigrade is in the video game, and it like the whole story was just ripped.
yeah, the tardigrade is a goddamn navigator for the mushroom thing. It's like, are you really trying to pull this off of Star Trek? I mean, come on.
So here's what bugs me the most about the STD era Star Trek that they're doing is they have been violating the canon at every left turn possible. They've been like, you know what?
Hang on. What about when it came to Talos 5?
I don't remember specifically, but here's my big complaint. Their only solution has been, it's classified. Okay, but if you watch Star Trek Voyager, Catherine Janeway was aware of the Omega particle.
Yes.
What was the most classified thing in Starfleet? So then why the fuck wasn't Kirk aware of the mirror universe? Because that has to be way less classified than the Omega fucking particle.
Yeah, no, that is pretty. I get that, but remember the Talos, the original thing with the menagerie, it was the only thing in Star Trek that would give you a death penalty was to go do Talos.
Right.
And was it Talos 5 or Talos, whatever the number was, but they do kind of explain why that was the case. They kind of do go a little bit more into the canon. I thought that was interesting.
They haven't really gotten into the Talos 5 thing, because even at the point where Pike left the show in Star Trek Discovery, he still isn't at the point where he and Spock and Number One are going to go to Talos 5, because if that were to get to the point, then we would have already seen it, or at the
I don't know.
very least,
Has it started yet? Because I haven't watched the new episodes, and I haven't caught up yet. I've still got to catch up.
Yeah,
with
I
Jojo.
just came out yesterday. I gotta get going, guys.
All right, bye, Aggie.
Picard literally just started, and I'm actually really excited about it. So
I love Picard. The first episode of Picard.
Vegan,
was
you're
awesome.
just excited about everything, Vegan. What doesn't excite you? She's like She's like a perpetual state of excitement.
Okay,
the only good thing about season 1 of STD was Michelle Yeoh. That was the only good reason to watch it, and she wasn't even in that many episodes.
Which one?
Okay, so here's something from Chesh.
I thought Jason Isaacs was good in it.
Chesh said to me, Dapper Dino, Kirk did know, he just forgot cause negligent as fuck. And you know what?
Oh, Dallas 4. Thank you, Dallas 4. Yeah.
Fair enough. You know what? Kirk was not exactly the optimum responsibility captain.
I don't like the way the STD kind of did kind of change some of the canon stuff, but whatever.
I mean, the Orville is better than STD.
Orville's brilliant.
The Orville is
I still haven't watched that.
See, but the Orville. I like the Orville because the Orville isn't in your face.
It's not.
Yeah, I adore that show.
Did you watch the episode about a girl where they were like, "Oh, our baby has been born female"?
I thought they did a good job on that, though.
So it's so
amazing.
I love the way
okay,
they do what they do. It's
I
amazing.
love everything about that episode. In fact,
It was really good.
I actually joined like some discussion group about the Orville, and they were like, "Oh, hey, why do you like the show?" And my answer was like, "Well, because they did an excellent job on this one episode about a girl, about like, infant gender reassignment and what that means in like later life, and what that means for gender roles." And I was just like, "Oh my god, it's taking so much relevant shit, but it's also not just shoving some particular position in your face.
Exactly. Go ahead.
I love the Orville, especially my thing. I think my favorite episode was Majority Rule because it very clearly lays out where we're headed in our social media addictions. I mean, I think that the series is awesome.
Oh, I loved every episode of the Orville. I do like that, about a girl, but I like the one where, like, when we find out more about the Klaxon or the Isaac, whatever he is. And that was just, and I saw it coming. I mean, you could predict it, but even though you knew it was coming, the way they
I
did
really
it
need
was,
to watch. I get giddy about that show. I love it because I feel like it takes such a great approach to morality from different perspectives in ways that most people are uncomfortable having discussions about. But it just does it.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's
it made
beautiful.
Comfortable in an you know what? It does what Star Trek used to do.
Right. Like there was that episode of Star Trek where they were like, hey, maybe the Greek gods only ever had power because people believed in them.
Yeah. That was
which is an aspect of Greek mythology.
Right. And that's the kind of shit that the Orville is doing that Star Trek just isn't. Although I will say I did really like the first episode of Picard.
It was really good.
I don't watch The Expanse. I tried getting into The Expanse. I just couldn't do
spoilers.
it.
I haven't seen it
Get
yet.
into The Expanse.
Watch it. It's really good.
I keep getting told that. I will probably
hard sci-fi.
I will probably catch
there's
up
a
on
spoiler on Picard. Watch it.
I got
my thing about The Expanse.
I've still
go ahead.
I still got to finish Killjoys. I haven't watched last season of Killjoys that was out. I've still got to finish Doom Patrol, which is really fucking good. If you guys haven't seen Doom Patrol, so good so far. Like I said, I'm only halfway through it. Like it's only one season.
Patrol.
There's 15 in the season. I think I'm at 9 or something. So there's plenty more to go. But I've already fell in love with the series. And then I've got to watch. What else I got to catch? I just finished Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh, I abandoned the Arrowverse like 4 seasons ago.
I'm not a big fan of Arrow show any longer, but I had to catch up on that to get
Crisis
to
was a lot of fun just for the crossovers.
A lot of crossovers.
It's like the new DC stuff, like Doom Patrol, and what's the other one that they're doing? Sort of the Teen Titans one. Like those are well done. But
Titans isn't that good.
I don't watch it, but I know that's a different Earth. That's like Earth. What is that? Earth.
21. It's the same one as Doom Patrol.
Is it Doom Patrol 21?
Yeah, it's in the Doom Patrol universe, and like it's pretty good. But, like generally speaking, I find a lot of the live action DC stuff is like kind of teen drama BS most of the time. You know, like Batgirl is abysmal. It's like or Batwoman or whatever.
Batgirl's horrible. I like her. I like Rose, but I don't like.
I enjoyed the first couple episodes, and then I just kind of lost interest.
Yeah, it's boring.
But they were just so heavy-handed and like so poorly written. I found. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've seen Harley Quinn yet.
Really good for Marvel.
Harley Quinn might have potential.
I'm enjoying Harley Quinn enormously.
I haven't watched it yet, but she might have.
My favorite terrible line from Batwoman is when the techie guy is like, "Oh, this armor is like perfect," and then Batwoman says, "It will be when a woman wears it." It's like,
when it's
that kind of shit.
Yeah, so in your face.
Yeah, no, I'd turn it off. I'd be like, "Fuck you."
Is it?
It was more when it's built for a woman, since it's kind of
Kevin, isn't Harley Quinn?
For Bruce is a little bit bigger.
Is that a spinoff of Suicide Squad?
I don't even know if it's in the same universe. But the thing is, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn's its own universe.
Okay,
right. But the thing is, Harley Quinn is a compelling character because she has been severely, and I want to emphasize this. If you're idolizing the Joker Harley Quinn relationship, you're fucking wrong because she has been severely abused.
That's abusive as fuck.
Here's the thing.
But now, there are storylines where she is, breaking away from that and being like, you know what? No, that's not okay. I'm going to be my own person. I'm going to have my own relationships. My past with this guy isn't okay.
Doesn't define me.
That's a good story.
Dapper, with respect, the relationship with Joker is deeply unhealthy.
Oh, yeah.
But the abuse is very much mutual. Harley is... That's the thing. I have a very good friend who's an actual psychiatrist who's worked with people who are psychopaths and sociopaths. And she's a huge Harley Quinn fan. And if you really look at Harley Quinn's characterizations, when they're on point, no, she is not Joker's victim. She is very much an abusive personality in her own right.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
but the other
mutually
thing, right,
abusive at
is
some point.
the idea of mutual abuse is sort of a flawed idea because it really comes down to power dynamics, right? Like, there's going to be somebody who's in a higher power position, and even if the other person is lashing out or they're like acting inappropriately, if it's in response to a disbalanced power dynamic, you're still going to come out to be a clear abuser and victim.
There's an episode of animated series, which is where Harley Quinn first appears, where Joker ditches her. And then at the end of the episode, you see him being dragged into an ambulance, and Harley's there, and the look of absolute
I know the one you're on.
terror on his face.
Oh yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that some of the newer Harley Quinn stuff that's happening, especially they're doing some animated stuff, which I think
the animated is brilliant.
Right. Is one of the things that they're doing is saying, hey, this wasn't an okay relationship. And yeah, it fucking wasn't. And that's absolutely to point out, because you know what? There's basically two versions of the Harley Quinn relationship. There's the Joker's an abuser and Harley Quinn's the victim. And then there's the other option where it's mutually abusive. And in neither case is that okay. And they're acknowledging that now. That makes for compelling storytelling. Because you have deeply flawed characters who have an arc. They have a story to tell.
Yes.
That's what's brilliant about the Harley Quinn cartoon. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's what's brilliant about the Harley Quinn cartoon is it's her and Ivy and exploring that relationship, and Harley getting over Joker and realizing how horrible that relationship was. There's a great scene, and it's only a minor spoiler because it's from the very first episode and right at the beginning, when Ivy breaks her out of Arkham, and Ivy's trying to get it through her head because Harley's been like, oh, Joker's going to come get me. Joker's going to come get me. For a year, Joker's going to break me out. Never breaks her out. So Ivy picks up this picture of her and Harley from when Harley was still a psychiatrist. Says, you're the only psychiatrist who ever gave a damn about me. The only one who ever got through to me. You need to be that person, not his, in this horrible relationship with Joker. And the picture of Harley Quinn starts talking to her and asks, I need your help with the patient. And basically psychoanalyzes herself. It's absolutely brilliant, and the nature of no, this is a terrible relationship for her.
Yeah, and
that's what I like about a lot of these shows.
Vegan,
go ahead.
Vegan, does that mean Harley Quinn is single now? Because I like the damage type.
The pigtails. I mean, sexy.
Yes.
Yeah, she's Harley Quinn.
So, hold on.
And a psychiatrist.
Right.
One of the things I like
is say though, real quick, what we love best about shows like that are the ones that not just that the characters are damaged goods or that they have an interesting character arc. We also like the episodes and things that, like Star Trek or whatever, that also have plays on philosophy and morals and ethics and things like that. I don't get to watch a lot of TV because I'm working like 80% of the time. But I listen to a lot of podcasts or YouTube and I'll just be listening in. But one of the podcasts I really like is actually Philosophers in Space. It's phenomenal. And they're so funny. The guys are really, really awesome. So if you guys like that stuff, they break down certain episodes or certain shows or movies and things like that.
I'll check it out. Cool.
Badass.
Have you watched Rick and Morty? Rick and Morty is really good for that philosophical type stuff.
I love Rick and Morty.
Oh, the good
Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is great.
In Marvel Studios.
Super chat. Gaber $2. Will you pay Dave for existing content? Dave and I already have everything worked out.
That's fair. My thing with Rick and Morty is a really great show. Rick and Morty fans have a tendency to be fucking immature assholes.
No, there's some wonderful shows that have really toxic fan bases.
Yeah, that is true.
Thanks, Dapper Dino, for the compliment.
Has anybody watched V Wars on Netflix?
The Gay Wars?
I haven't.
V Wars. Oh, I was like the Gay Wars. I'm like, what the hell's that?
What's V Wars?
Not yet. I'm a huge vampire fan, though, so I've been meaning to check it out.
The Gay War sounds like another really good episode for After Dark. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Adam Morgan for $2. If you like philosophy, check out Kane B. I'm not sure who that is, but
no idea.
I have no idea.
I got to be a
Remember that
dick and
name,
call out
KB.
Controller Dice. The Watchmen TV show was fucking excellent.
Should I watch
you
it?
know what?
I see the movie, but I mean,
Especially if you've read the graphic novel, the TV show, I fucking loved it.
I'll watch it.
I'll check that out then.
I
I've finished
wanted to
Killjoys.
hate it. I wanted to hate it. And then, like, 2 episodes in, I was like, oh, this is good stuff.
There was like parts of it were really well filmed and like everything, but there was also some like shaky writing at times. I guess I don't know. It was all right. I liked it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Viewer,
so
I
real
thought
quick,
was pretty
we got
good.
other
I
people
like.
in here. I want to make sure that they're like getting. So Dave says I got to run. Thank you, David. Love you, brother.
Yeah, I just thought I'd pop in and say goodbye before I went to bed because I'm epileptic and I have to do these.
And I love you. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
Have a good
Good night,
Dave.
God.
Sexually or
Good night.
otherwise, it doesn't matter. I love you.
Good
I
night, Paul.
am Moon, $5. I heard sapiosexual and came running back in, and now we're talking about shows. LOL, love you, Steve. This is what happens over my Coke Night. We never stay with the same topic.
Well, why should we? I mean,
Yeah, it's just, it
Right.
runs the gamut.
I
But I want to
mean,
make sure the
It's
other
more
people
fun
in
to
here.
just jump around.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you keep up? That's the question.
Oh, really?
Hey,
Vicky?
Dapper.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
my bourbon now.
How do you feel about the fact that Deadpool 3 is going to be done by Marvel Studios, getting a bigger budget, and that Deadpool's going to be part of the MCU?
But they're still doing an R rating, aren't they?
Oh wait, that's
It's still
actually
R-
happening.
It's still R-rated. Yeah, it's
Wait,
been confirmed.
real quick. So wait, there's a statement from Kyle.
Oh wait.
Oh
what?
dear.
Uh-oh. Where?
I don't know.
Please.
Stuart says somebody is lying his ass off and reading a statement from Kyle.
Well, that's
Can we
Yeah,
find
I
this
think,
for the
I think
train
we
wreck
know that
value?
might be, but
So I want to answer the question real quick though, because I don't think it'll take too long. One thing is, I think it'll be a little bit tricky if Marvel tries to incorporate the mutant stuff into MCU, and I honestly think they shouldn't. I think they should keep them as separate universes. So
agree with
my hope is that Deadpool can transition into two separate continuities, where one ties into the X-Men stuff and one ties into the MCU, because I think they
interact with each other.
Wait.
That
That
only
would be
works if
beautiful.
Deadpool's fully aware of the situation and references
Right. Oh,
it
yeah.
as well as a buyout.
Exactly.
It's like,
'cause the
oh
thing is,
shit! Wait, I can't talk about that. Wrong universe.
So hang
breaking
on.
the
So,
fourth wall is the Deadpool thing. The whole point of Deadpool is that he breaks the fourth wall all the fucking
oh
time.
yeah, he knows he's a character.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's not
Steve,
crazy.
read
He
that
knows
shit.
what
He
the
knows
real
he's,
world
he,
is
he
for
knows
him.
he's a character. Yeah. Okay. So real quick. So hang on. So Stuart says Kyle says he's going to file a lawsuit for slander. He didn't lose his 50%. So he doesn't have enough money to go court or something, but he's going to file a slander. Okay.
Oh my God!
He said,
I thought he was too depressed to go to court.
and he says he
That's
isn't
a
giving
good one.
anything until he gets his day in court. His day in court is over. He's bloviating. What he's doing, I know he's trying to save face. He's just
Where is he saying this?
Yeah, well, I don't know. He says he's not going to give anything until he gets his day in court. His day in court is over.
Yup.
I don't know where he's saying this, but I can tell you what he's speaking from. It's called he's speaking out of his ass.
Yeah.
oh my god,
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
work this shit up, could you?
No, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah, Tina says
I think
that
he's got
Uni's
either
saying it.
He's either full delusional or he's just lying. He's so used to lying at this point, and he knows these idiots are going to believe anything he says, and he doesn't care. He can just lie with impunity, and they don't give a fuck. They're like, "Oh, Kyle said it must be true." How many times does this guy have to lie blatantly, and they still believe it? Anybody who knows the legal system knows his day is over. It's done.
Yeah. He had his day in
He
court.
lost.
There's a
fucking
default
show.
judgment. He doesn't.
Can
get
I
a
make a
second bite at
prediction?
the
He
apple.
had his month in court.
Yeah, you don't
He
get a
had
second
a
bite at the apple.
fucking month in court. He didn't fucking show. You had your fucking day. It was like 4 weeks long, Kyle.
Okay, so he's gonna.
Can I make a
Actually,
prediction?
longer because you think it was the 90 days that he had to respond to the flip thing in the first place. He didn't do it then.
Kyle, listen,
You know
Kyle.
what it reminds me of, though?
Yeah.
It reminds me of one of those guys, that thinks that they're all manly men and they're about to pick a fight with somebody else and said, "Oh, if they weren't holding me back, I'd be."
Kyle takes the
Oh,
worst.
yeah, exactly.
Kyle takes
I
the
wanna
worst
make a-
possible route that he could possibly ever does. He always takes the hard route. He will end up in jail. I'm just telling you right
I want to
now.
make a quick prediction, and then I got to dip out. What I think he's going to do is that he's going to drag it on, as in, oh, I've got 14 days until I have to release the books. So he's going to give you the YouTube analytics, and then you're going to be like, no, that's not the books. We need all of this, and then he's going to take another amount of time.
Oh no, we already
whatever
put
he
him.
can get.
No, you're wrong, because we already wrote him a letter, and we made it very clear that the books are not the analytics. So if he tries to do that,
okay,
that's contempt.
Aside from the books not being the analytics,
oh yeah,
didn't he claim to have an actual accountant?
No.
All right. Well, either way, I got to dip out, guys. Have fun.
I'm not saying he had one. I'm saying he said he had one.
Yeah, we already drafted a letter out.
Kyle said a lot of things.
A very strongly worded letter that if the main reason why we wrote this letter is, and just straight from the lawyer, if Kyle defaults, we go right to the judge and say this is a contempt. We've tried everything. He's unwilling to work with us. The judge will issue what's called a civil contempt of court bench warrant, and he'll be happy to come in front of the judge in handcuffs and explain to him why he hasn't followed the judge's orders. That's how it works.
And here's the thing: I don't think he has the books. I don't think he ever kept track.
No. Now here's the thing though. If he had a brain in his fucking head, he would get a hold
There's
of
your
my
problem.
lawyer, right? And he would say, "Look, I don't have the financials. What do you want from me that'll satisfy this order?" That's what a smart person would do.
Well, he's clearly not a smart person.
Well, there you go.
If he was a smart person, we wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah, and let me put this narrative to rest. When you breach contract, the contract is considered to be what's called nullified or voided. Okay, that's what breach of contract means. You have breached the boundaries of the contract. If it's egregious enough, you ask for what's called a dissolution of the contract, which we'll be doing by the resolution phase. So yeah, he's not. So all these internet idiots, and by the way, OPT lawyer, who's a real lawyer, was like, any idiot who thinks that it'll be 50-50 after the dissolution is a moron. Like, straight up moron. He's like, that's not how any of this works.
I'm sure you're going to have to pay him 50-50 in perpetuity.
You don't break a contract and get the benefit from it. That's not how it works.
Steve,
it's not?
Assuming
I'm not a
he
lawyer,
hasn't-
and I know that.
Yeah.
Assuming he hasn't paid the taxes up until this point, are you going to be obligated to pay reparations based on that once you do get everything back?
Well, that's a good question. I do not know.
Okay.
I would think that he would.
I think it would be under his personal tax,
Yeah.
and since he got just enriched by it, is all the taxes at this point would be under his own liability. When he has the judgment and he starts giving me money from the judgment, if he gives me any, then I tax it off that.
But here's the question, Steve: would you have Kyle in jail as a guest via prison phone?
Possibly. Why not? We had Soul Phone guy on. We were trying to just contact the dead by Soul Phone. No, which we never did. We wanted to. Hey, Gobber.
You know what?
Real quick,
sorry.
Super chat. Gobber, $2. 3 times the money. I find that emotional. I don't know what that means, but yeah, three times.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I honestly think, no offense to anyone, but I think it would be easier to get Kyle on the phone via prison phone than to get the deceased spirits of anyone via spirit phone. But I am not super familiar with spirit phone, so I don't know.
I'm somewhat familiar with spirit phone.
What about
and
Rainbow
to be honest,
phone?
I would agree with you.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, they're just in their alpha phase. Maybe when they release the first beta, it'll work better.
Well, like I said,
Well, spirit phone actually goes back to Edison.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yes,
wait.
I think I saw something, or no, I was listening to God Awful Movies, and they were doing one of them, and they were doing it went back in time to do the spirit phone. It was hysterical.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out all the tax stuff after I see the books. We'll get a financial person to take care of all that stuff. That's not a problem. TJ, did you call Kyle?
I didn't. I just kind of let it go.
Okay.
I'll let it
Well,
go
yeah,
to voicemail.
I think he's trying to save face because I know to him face is important.
I
won't
didn't
know.
know.
We won't know anything until 12, 13 days from now whether he does violate the court order, which would be the dumbest thing ever. But
It's like 8 months too late to save fucking face, Kyle. Like, what
Maybe he
the fuck,
misses
dude?
maybe he wants to go to jail.
And even if he did do any kind of lawsuit, that's an entirely different case, completely unrelated to this.
I mean, if he wanted to save face, he could just go use, an exfoliating scrub.
Well, no, that would cost him face because you have to scrub part of your face off.
But I was going to say something though that these idiots are running this narrative that Steve will have to pay Kyle 50-50 going on because that's what's established. Which I know Steve's just.
So Geber asked, "You're not asking for what he owes, but more just because of rage, Steve." No, it's not has nothing to do with rage. Do I sound like I'm raging? No, he's liable.
No, not at all.
He's violated North Carolina state general statute. He's violated the statute. That's treble damages. I don't understand.
I don't get the narrative that Steve is just angry. It's like, okay, even if he were angry,
it wouldn't matter.
He's owed all of this shit.
I can be mad as fuck. It wouldn't matter. But you know what? Right. I've been trying to keep my things in check, but I don't see why it makes a bit of difference.
Well, and
you've got every right to be angry, Steve. You know.
Hey, wait, Gaber. It's gross to try and put him in jail. He's putting himself in
I'm
jail.
not doing shit. He's contempt of court.
It's
the
his
judge
own
puts him in
choice.
jail, not
The fucking
me.
idiot hasn't done a fucking thing up to this point.
It's contempt
Any
of court.
consequences are his.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. How is this so fucking hard to understand?
Yeah.
He could have shown up.
So I was going to say, cause I was trying to say a minute ago, this nonsense that people are running about.
Yeah.
TJ, hang on.
Nonsense.
TJ, hang on. TJ, you can't talk over Jeff when he's trying to talk, man. He's like, legit.
So this nonsense they're running that Steve will have to keep paying Kyle going forward. Here's the joke about that. Steve offered him that out several months ago. He offered him that out to say, why don't you give me the channel? I'll run it. You can go off do your own thing. And he still would have got income from NonSec, and he could have maybe saved a bit of face and started up his own thing. He could have had that cooking thing or whatever it was he wanted to do up and running now. He didn't do that.
It was so
He's
stupid
an idiot.
that he
He
didn't.
could have had two forms of revenue coming in. That's how fucking stupid this guy is.
Yeah, sorry, Gobber.
So rant over.
Yeah. So, Gobber, I think you're outvoted here, dude. But thank you for playing.
I think that's the worst part of it is Kyle could have taken the offer, given you the channel, and be collecting 50% forever.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Okay, I have the new narrative. I killed Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, you're the one? Yeah. Are you in bed with Hillary Clinton?
She calls me up, has me do some dirty work for her.
No.
Okay.
But wasn't it a really crowded jail cell given everybody killed Jeffrey Epstein at once? That's my theory.
Is this serious? Wait, is this serious? That somebody just
No, I hope not.
that I'm connected to Jeffrey Epstein through payments or some stuff from
You're the one who
Liberals?
suggested it, man. I'm just rolling with it.
No. This is what I'm saying. Somebody say that I'm somehow connected to Jeffrey Epstein.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I heard it just now.
I assume that also means you know Prince Andrew, so.
It's so funny that people just say the dumbest things for reviews. I don't know.
Hey, did you hear Steve was the second gunman on the grassy knoll?
I was there.
Here's the thing that drives me crazy, right? So a while back, after this initially started, I put out a video about my thoughts on Steve McRae. Steve, I'm pretty sure you've seen it, where basically I was like, I don't care what you think of Steve. It's obvious that he was wronged by Kyle, and he's the currently rightful owner of the NonSequitur channel.
Mm-hmm.
I, even just today, got a comment on that video like, oh, hey, how do you support Steve McRae now? And I'm like, okay, the absolute worst that I can say about Steve McRae is that he's made some choices that I think the optics were iffy on. That is the absolute worst.
And that would make me a horrible person, right? You know.
Absolutely.
Heaven forbid,
Yeah, that's of course.
Heaven forbid a human makes a human mistake. I mean, come on.
I mean, I don't agree with Steve on everything, but that doesn't make him evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because somebody might tell like it is and his opinion and won't back off because that's his opinion and she has the facts to back it up doesn't mean that
You know what's funny? I'm not even an easy target. I don't know why they target me. I don't get a rise out of this shit. I don't give a fuck.
You're so given. That's the biggest thing I see right now.
Why target me? Go after somebody that
you have.
Did you see?
You have such a good reason to be angry, Steve, and raging, And I wouldn't blame you, but you're so calm about this whole thing.
You're like the whale from Moby Dick.
Because I got a lot of wonderful people in my life, and as long as they're around, there's nothing anybody can do with me.
Yeah, literally.
Can't do anything to me.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Steve, literally, the absolute worst thing I can say about you is that you have chosen some battles I would have passed and chosen other battles on. And you know what? Who the fuck cares? It's a matter of opinion. You get to pick your own battles.
Yeah, I get that. But answer me this. If you compare when it comes to honesty and ethics and things of that nature to me and the people that have been trying to attack me, can you say that the disparagement is a Grand Canyon size difference?
Oh, yeah. You're
no, it's not that small.
You're definitely in the right on that, Steve. Literally, the worst thing I can say about you is there are a few things you say about Steve. The worst thing I can say about you is there are a few things that you put out that I think you should have just passed on.
Yeah, well,
but you know what? You weren't wrong.
Yeah,
I just think
example.
I want this channel to be.
So I'll be honest. There were a few. There were a few of the videos about Katie where I thought this feels like it's already been addressed and it doesn't need to be readdressed. But you know what? Steve wasn't wrong to address it. I just thought it was superfluous.
Yeah,
but
I get that. I get that.
Like superfluity and being wrong to do a thing are super different.
Can I use wait, we got a drink. I need the N word. So Gabber says, down the drain, it's a shame. I have been on your side. I love your input, but this shit is too much. Who would multiply shit to take revenge? That word revenge is narrative. There's no revenge here. I'm not even into revenge justice. Drink. I'm into restorative and reparative, not vengeance.
Here's the reality. Kyle can comply with the judge's order, and he won't go to jail.
Yeah, that's all I got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to send him to jail. You just want him to do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, I will get 3 times the damages, and I'll be happy to do so, and I find it to be very ethical to do so. When somebody violates the law like that, absolutely. That is more than ethical.
That's the whole point.
No, absolutely right.
Those damages, anyways, is that when you break the law, this is how our system works. If you don't like how our system works, then work on changing the judicial system, because that is how they do it. Carrots and sticks.
Very well said.
Don't fuck people over.
Whoa.
You won't have to do it.
Piece of shit.
Friendly fire, Steve. What was that?
Oh, we don't. That name is not going to be on this channel ever.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Remember, we're not talking. We're not talking about certain people's name ever again.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, that's
I think your biggest problem, and I don't think this is a bad thing, because I try to be this way myself, but I think your biggest problem is when you're sure you're right, you don't back down, and that pisses certain people off.
Well, yeah, because
I respect it, but some people are very thin-skinned,
especially within the atheist community, because they've been indoctrinated to think one way, and here I come along going, well, why don't we have discussions different? And they just don't like that. So whatever.
I see that in a lot of different places, because I know I've gotten into some conversations with people about veganism and animal ethics, and I just try to use the same epistemology when I'm discussing these things, and you get an immediate visceral reaction because people believe that you're attacking them and not their beliefs, and they're not using the same, I think, skepticism that they use with, say, theists or flat earthers or whatever. And so I really enjoy those conversations, and when I have them, I will go in and I will keep on them, and they're like, "Why are you attacking me?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm not. I'm a bitch."
Well, here's the thing, and this is significant, and a lot of people don't know it. They've done brain scans and MRIs and studied what happens inside of a brain of an atheist when their core beliefs are under attack. Because I'm not saying that atheism is a religion. It's obviously not. But atheists individually have their own beliefs about things.
Absolutely.
But when you challenge those beliefs, the same parts of the brain in an atheist light up when you challenge the beliefs of a religious person.
Yeah, it's identity.
Absolute sense.
You're attacking their identity.
Bingo.
Speaking of attacking people's identity, did you see the video that ProLib did, Steve?
Who? No, I don't want to. We're not talking about those people, Dave.
No.
No.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to point this out
Dave,
because I just
Dave, we're not talking
What?
about any of those people.
Not about them, but like as far as some of these stupider criticisms that get leveled on you sometimes, like somebody brought up, oh, Steve had on Lawrence Krauss, so he's just as bad as
Dave,
Lawrence
I don't want
Krauss.
to talk about any of that stuff.
Okay.
All these people are fucktards. We've already decided
It's
that
true.
all they do is cause a hostile environment that's toxic and has affected my friends.
don't
and I'm not
deserve
gonna
the
harm my
attention.
friends. They don't deserve the attention.
That's fair.
Fair. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Especially because there's
So
somebody
what-
still in here that have been affected by it directly.
So
and
what
harmed.
what I'm hearing is exactly my thought on it. Who are we talking about? Oh yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No,
And that's one of the things that drives me crazy is it's like, how do you dedicate your life? Because it's what it seems like so many of these people have done to just like hating one dude. And like, you do so much else with your life.
People there are some people who are quite literally pathetic. They have nothing good going on in their life, so they have to focus on someone else and project their discomfort and their shortcomings and their insecurities on everyone else, so they by fiat feel better.
Absolutely right.
I did recently have to stop using my Steve McRae mask in the kitchen because apparently, so here's the thing. Originally, I thought that it meant that I could channel Steve's cooking skills
I
and add
have
it
no
to my
cooking
own.
skills, or very little.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't realize that you didn't have any cooking skills, and I realized that all it meant was that I was trying to stalk you. So I was like, "Oh, damn!"
That's kind of what it
I
is,
was
yeah.
channeling supernaturally your cooking skills, but you don't have any, obviously, based on my last few
I
meals.
really don't. Very
So
little.
Is this just a standard?
So real quick, I got a news person. Is that Stone Butt that came in?
What?
Stone Butt.
Hello.
Is that you?
Yeah.
It really is you?
Hello. Yeah.
Get out.
What?
Well, what's up, man?
What?
He doesn't come
how's
around
it
much.
going?
He's so excited.
I mean,
It's probably been.
When's the last time you've been at Hangout, man?
Oh God, it's probably been 2014, 2015, 2016.
3-4 years? Holy
Wow.
cow, man.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of dropped off the map for a while because I was, traveling states, finding a new job, dealing with my dad whose brain was melting.
So what do you want to add to all this?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, this is the NonSequitur Show celebration. I know you have a lot to say, on other places you talk to in private and stuff like that. So
I kind of see a bit of a parallel to, what Kyle is doing and kind of what the Trump administration is doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So in other words, just lie and not care. Yeah. Okay.
Please elaborate.
I try so hard to be politically neutral.
What exactly is the Trump administration doing then?
Oh, we're not going into no, you're not doing this MAGA thing. Nope.
I'm not nearly drunk enough for this
Not
conversation.
nearly. I had one thing of
Give me
scotch,
some
like literally one
specifics.
finger of scotch. That's all I've had. Not nearly enough to talk about MAGA right now.
Give me some specifics.
Politics can be so fun, though.
Yes, well, not really, but I will tolerate politics. Jay Brown loves politics. When you guys can have all the political discussion you want. I ain't doing it right now. So.
I'll just point out.
I'm just
I'll
trying
just point out the
to
one.
get, I'm just trying to get down to hey, give me some specifics.
I don't care, CJ. No.
So-
We're not playing this game. Don't go.
I just want to note that I would bet.
Set up.
Sweet.
We are not going to have the conversation, but I would bet that we could have the conversation and we
we
would all
could.
walk away from this just fine.
Oh,
yeah.
And the reason why I say that politics can be fun and entertaining is because I have no affiliation, so I can piss off both sides of the coin.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm
That is half the fun.
I'm with you on that.
That's all the
man. I don't fucking care either way. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just point out the one objective thing that no one can deny is the not obeying the subpoenas, not showing up, not presenting witnesses. That part.
Yeah, there's definitely a parallel there too, because when initially they were trying to get witnesses in with the House of Representatives, he was saying, "I want them to testify and all of these other things." And then as soon as it gets to the Senate, now all of a sudden, where are all these witnesses? I mean, it's almost exactly a parallel.
So I want to say one thing about the whole impeachment thing, and it's okay. Look at the Clinton impeachment. He was impeached for perjury. He obviously was guilty.
Way more things that he was impeached for than perjury.
No, he was impeached specifically for perjury.
Okay,
No, there were actually way
I'm
more
not saying he wasn't guilty of other things.
How do we get into politics, for fuck's sake?
Let's get on politics and Steve's channel.
Okay, look, here's the thing. It doesn't matter too much. Let me
No, I'm muting. I'm muting everybody. Shh, there's too many people talking. Sweet Heathen has the voice of an angel. If she speaks, you cannot talk over her because nobody can hear her.
You're a horrible, biased fool. But thank you.
Thank you. All right, so please, by all means.
No. I was just laughing. I was
I'm
saying,
just kind of
are
mocking you.
people
He's got a very
actually-
soft voice, actually. But yeah.
See, now you're talking over me, you asshole.
I told you to keep up.
I don't like her. No,
For everyone.
I know. All right, go. Sweet,
All I was saying was that I was just joking about, are people actually defying King Steve by discussing something he asked them not to discuss?
Yes.
You know what's
Yes.
it's funny.
You want to know why?
Unabashedly.
Hang on, true story.
Yeah, Steve, you have a real cult of personality following you.
Yeah, we're clearly all your mind slayers.
Yeah, wait, all hail Steve. All hail Steve.
I got a true story. AT2 will probably remember this, and Stone Butt, you might be if you were in the GDC back then. I don't remember. But do you guys remember when I was talked into doing the politics on the GDC? And I was like, this is not going to end well. It was a very bad idea.
Yeah, you called it.
And
You
I was talked
definitely
into it.
called
People
it.
were like, well, Steve doesn't change his mind. I was like, well, I changed my mind. I did change my mind and that it was a bad idea. I always thought it was a bad idea, but I changed my mind that I was going to allow it.
You don't change your mind.
Bad
So
mistake.
Steve, I'll ask you because it's your channel and everything. Can I make what I think is a nonpartisan statement about impeachment as a process?
I guess so. Why not?
Okay. So
Reluctant.
whatever else he may or may not have been impeached for, Bill Clinton was impeached for perjury, and there is just no reason to think that he didn't commit perjury. We all know he fucking committed perjury, but the thing is, he wasn't convicted of it. And you know what? Until Trump is in office and has a 2/3 or a 1/3 minority in the Senate, he's not getting convicted for fucking shit.
Well, I don't think
it's
he
just
should
not
This is true.
Oh, hang on. I'll weigh into
This
this. and we'll
is
drop
true,
it.
and it's a bad move.
I don't think he'll be convicted in the
part
Senate. I
of
don't. Although it is a
establishment
greater
Democrats.
possibility now than it ever has been, but I doubt it. It's still an impeachment. He has been impeached. I think
Absolutely.
I think a censor would have
Well,
been
yeah.
a better way to go. But now that we've
Other
already gone down this
presidents
route-
have been impeached.
Only 2 other presidents have been impeached other than Trump.
Yeah, Andrew
No,
Jackson.
Do you know which
and-
2?
But they've
Yeah, Andrew
never
Jackson, Bill
been.
Clinton.
No other president has ever been removed. No
No
president.
This is true.
No president has been removed, but 2 of them
I-
have been
That's
impeached.
the
I
thing.
love I love politics and stuff like that, and I know that Steve doesn't really want to talk about it, but again, I love podcasts, and Opening Arcs is amazing. So and they have some really good stuff on the impeachment stuff.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Here, I'll say something about politics that
It's
Steve can
actually
agree with.
Okay,
not
what?
partisan.
Say
It's
something about-
actually
Guarantee Steve will agree with
Go
me.
for it. Okay.
Politicians are assholes across the
Yeah, I'm not a
board.
big fan of politicians.
I don't think it'd be.
One of my things is in my public statements on my channel or on anyone else's channel where I can be identified as Dapper Dino, I do not take sides in partisan politics. However, I have gone on record several times as saying, if you're a politician, I probably hate you, and you would probably find the degree to which I dislike you criminal.
Dino, I am crushing on you so much more each time I see you on a stream.
I know. Isn't it great?
I have not seen Dino before tonight, and I rather like him.
I'm like moderate.
Check my channel out.
I'm like moderate mid-center. I tend to go to social liberalism and fiscal conservatism.
Similar to me, actually.
Most people are, yeah. I mean, if you look at what people support, most of the time it is going to be a social liberalism and fiscal.
It's generally, I think, the more moderate
Well,
position.
the way I
yeah.
see it, I'm conservative. Fiscally, I'm conservative. And I think socially, I'm conservative, but I'm conservative in a very specific way. I believe in small government.
Yeah.
The government telling consenting adults who they can marry is not small government.
Exactly.
I agree
I'll
with
agree
that.
there. That's not small government. I'll say this about my political stance. I am extremely extreme in a way that you're probably not going to guess, but in a way that means that if you're a politician, chances are you can't even imagine what I think you deserve.
Oh boy!
And I guess
I know we're probably not going to get into it now, but I do want to learn more about that at some point.
Maybe a libertarian.
You know what? We're Facebook friends. Ask me on Facebook, and as long as you promise not to talk about it, I will.
No. I would love to have that conversation.
You know what?
As long as you're not some kind of ANCAP.
Hang on.
I can guarantee
I got a
you
question.
I just love hearing the perspective.
Wait. I got a question. Okay, sweet. What do you have going on the rest of this weekend?
That's I don't know. I have a lot of family stuff, mostly just usual kicking around, doing chores, mom stuff.
Okay, the reason why I ask is because if you want, the three of us, yourself, Dapper Dino, and myself, can actually talk about this stuff on a stream and actually have a lot of fun and show Steve how you can do a great show about politics.
Wait, are you asking Sweet to lend his voice and
I don't know that I'm
pontificate?
educated enough to really, depending on how far we dive into it, but I'd be more than willing and happy to share my opinions, of course.
So, AT2, I might be willing to come on, but I'm hesitant to make my politics known under my Dapper Dino name because I want people to associate with me primarily the science and just the hard, like here.
You don't want to push people away based on opinion.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Dapper Dino. That's why I don't really care if we talk about politics. To me, it's a very boring topic for the most part.
Here's something my fiance just pointed out that's, I think, a really good point. The U.S., we have this huge concern about same-sex marriage. Why are we talking about that and not the real problem we have with child marriage?
It's actually been
TJ, you
that's the whole
can't interrupt
point.
people. Hang on, I've been listening to one person.
Everybody decided
TJ,
that we're gonna.
No, I agree. But listen to the rest of the
TJ,
point.
I got to mute you for a second, TJ. I'm listening to like Kevin say something, and then halfway through a sentence, I hear you, and then the audio goes out, and then I can't hear him any longer. So wait till he's finished with his sentence, so I could hear what the hell he's trying to say. I can't hear him. What'd you say, Kevin?
Okay, so we talk a lot about in this country about this problem that we have with same-sex marriage. I agree we don't really have a problem. The polls say we don't. But here's the thing. We're so busy talking about this supposed problem and ignoring a very real problem this country has with child marriage.
Child marriages.
Which is legal in almost every state.
Okay, I didn't know what the hell you were asking about.
Child
I think
Yes.
I do think 18 should be the age for marriage, but that's I can understand women getting married at 17 with if they're emancipated. I get that, but still, I think 18.
But younger than that.
Yeah,
It's younger than that, and they're right. There is a problem because if parents give permission, but these parents are doing it for reasons that are harmful to their children.
I think it should be 18 across the board. Myself.
Hold on. The marriage age in some states is 17, so Chesh is legal now.
But who would want to?
That's what I'm hearing.
But who would, you all.
Here's the bigger problem.
You all got major crushes on here, don't you? It's weird.
Here's the
major
real
crushes
problem.
on Chesh.
Okay, 17-year-olds getting married, I can get it. There's some circumstances where that's cool. But you can't get a divorce until you're at least 18 years of age. So if parents push their kids into a healthy marriage, they can't get out of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
that's bad. That's very bad.
Yeah.
Oh God,
that's really true. I'm not too sure about that, but if that sounds horrible.
It is.
Is there a minimum age for it?
For divorce, it's 18
states,
across
no.
the board.
No,
depends
for
on the
child
state.
marriage with
Depends on the state. It goes as young as 12 or 13 in some states.
In
With
13
parental
states, there is no
permission.
minimum age.
And I have a 13-year-old daughter, and that just to me is sick beyond
And
measure.
I have a 14-year-old.
Yes.
Her getting. She told me she had a boyfriend, and I was like, okay, if he kisses you, I kill him. And she's like, look at me. She's like, well, it's a little too late for that. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. My life is over. Just screw this.
Steve,
Hey,
sorry about the bearing.
hang on.
All right, Steve, I think I have to get going pretty soon because I have to. Yeah, it's a little bit late here, and I've had too much tequila between this and the shills.
All right. Well, good
Go
idea,
for it.
Dino. I'm going to be
Dapper,
ending this.
can I ask
Sorry to
you a
hear that,
question?
Dapper. It's
We're
been a
gonna be
pleasure
ending it
talking
very
to you.
soon.
Yeah,
Very soon.
real quick.
Yeah,
we were
nice
talking
talking to you,
about
Dapper.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have questions, ask quick.
Yeah. No. It's what Jared was talking about. Maybe we don't do it publicly, but if the three of us want to get together and just chit chat anytime, I'm totally up for that.
Absolutely.
We can do it in private.
Yes.
That'd be totally fine.
I'm
with me,
absolutely
anyways.
okay with that. And if I can maintain some degree of anonymity away from my Dapper Dino,
Yeah, we'll
branded
discuss
stuff,
that. Jared, are you okay with that? Can we talk about that?
Off air is fine with me. It's just one of those. If you want to have the conversation, why not? We should not feel obligated to run away from certain topics because of discomfort.
Yeah.
No,
That's where a
it's
lot
true.
of problems
Look
come
at you.
from.
I agree with 1,000%. I think every topic should be pretty much on the table.
Yeah.
Very few I won't have.
Nothing is sacred.
But it's
And that's the thing.
But hang on.
I'm not.
Hang on.
Wait, opinions are sacred. That
Hang
sounds
on.
familiar.
Granted, but I mean, in terms of you can't talk about it that sacred.
There's times and the places, right? But they're like,
yes,
this is not the time and place to talk about
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah.
But like I said, I won't have a discussion whether if somebody wants to say, "Hey, Steve, I'm going to argue the Holocaust never happened," they're going to fuck off and die. That is never going to happen on my channel.
God, yeah.
That kind of. So there's certain things that are not worthy of even consideration.
Right. And look, here's the thing. I'm not saying that it's not good to have political discussion. I actually think it's extremely good.
It's
The only
important.
thing is,
Sure.
Very important.
I have a Dapper Dino brand, basically. And the Dapper Dino brand doesn't give a shit about your politics or my politics or anyone else's politics. It's here for science, and anything else can just go do another thing.
I respect that.
That's literally the only reason. I care deeply about politics. I care about the philosophy of political authority. I care about the future of the country. All these things. These are things I care about as a person. But as Dapper Dino, the brand, no, it's not the topic I'm here to discuss.
I completely understand that.
You also don't
absolutely,
want
and
to
I feel
alienate
happy
part of
with
your
other
audience
people.
that you want to reach.
Yeah. You don't want to alienate those people because you're there. They're there for talking about science with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. You know what? If you disagree with me 100% on politics, which I actually think a pretty good proportion of my audience does, that's okay. That's not why I'm here as Dapper Dino.
I get that, and my brand is disagree with me, agree with me. I don't care. Just listen and tell me your views, and be able to articulate it and explain your views, and argue one way or another, and talk about it. Because how do you have a channel if people are not willing to have discussions? Because I've noticed a lot of people are getting away from that in different aspects of the not our community, but in other communities. They don't want to talk about the topics. What they want to do is just talk shit. But I'm not into that, and so I think that this community should be able to talk about whatever they want, whoever they want to, with, and then talk about whether the arguments are valid or not, or why a person holds a particular position. I mean, I don't. If your position is like, listen, you're a Trump supporter, you love Trump, you think Trump is the greatest thing since sliced bread. My thing is, I'm not going to condemn you for it. I want to know why you believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of non-sec in its infancy, was that all topics were on the table. It didn't matter what you believe.
That was the great debate thing. That was what it's from.
We want to know why you believe that. And by having
changed that.
people who actually have some form of knowledge on those subjects and going head to head with these people that don't know what they're talking about, and being able for those people to point out where their reasoning is flawed or where the science is different and says otherwise, being able to show those things is what made non-sec so special. And
And that's what we want to get back to. Exactly. We're going to switch out. I get.
And the way Kyle was taking it, I mean, you wouldn't have ever expected them to, a Mr. Atheist, Kyle, Trump, supporter stream. You
No,
wouldn't
but
expect
the
that.
thing-
It
the thing was
totally
this.
excluded that
Hey, guys,
possibility.
I want to get out of here. I just
go.
want to say a few quick things.
Good night. Well, let me-
Hey,
Go.
a few quick things. One, I'm going to be live on my channel for the next, 8 or 10 days or something. So just stop by. I'm going to be live with Chesh on Wednesday, along with Erica. And if you don't know who Erica is,
she's awesome.
Gutsick Gibbon.
Yeah, search Gutsick, one word, space Gibbon on YouTube. Okay, here's the thing. If you don't like her content, I probably don't like you because her content is awesome.
I love her content. Actually, I don't know.
Her content is awesome.
She and Chesh almost have like the same accent too. So
it's
you might get
similar.
Pretty damn close, yeah.
Is that really me to
Dapper,
say?
go.
we can handle more than
wrap
one
this up. Go,
Cheshire,
Dapper,
though.
go.
Oh, I know.
Right.
One's more than
Oh, here's the thing, sweet.
Dapper, I gotta get going here. It's getting late.
All right, fine. Bye. Later.
Bye, Dapper.
Oh, Dapper, quickly before you go.
Oh my God.
I was just say Dapper. Well,
Thing. Okay, go.
Say what you gotta say.
quickly
get the
before
fuck
you
out.
quickly before you go, Dapper. I just realised I wasn't subbed to you, so I've just subbed to you. Okay.
That is so appreciated. I appreciate
Jeff, you're
all
so
of my
sweet.
subscribers. So
top hats off. Go on top hats off also.
yeah, top hats off is also good, but bye.
All right, sweet.
Good night.
Bye, Dapper.
Super chats. Helios, $5.
Thank you,
In
guys.
at least 40 states in 2016, parents could allow marriage to as low as 14, and statutory rape laws didn't apply to married couples regardless of age difference.
There's only 2 states that completely ban it, and I'm proud to say I believe New Jersey is one of the 2, which is where I live.
Wow, they actually got something right.
But anyways, I was telling
we do it
Al here-
occasionally.
Al, the thing is it was opinions were sacred, but then it came to be opinions are sacred unless Steve has them.
Just
I
like
was
how
gonna
other
say-
people would say, stand up
Because
and
God
use your
forbid
voice
I should
unless
have
you
my
say
own
something you
opinions.
don't like.
What's that?
I was going to say, do you remember the early days? So we were talking about the deleted comments earlier. Remember the early days of the show? The most sort of negative or critical comments are the ones that used to get pinned on that channel.
Yeah.
What a difference! What a difference a few months makes, you know.
What sweet did you say earlier?
Oh, sorry, I was responding to the internal chat.
Oh, okay.
No, last thing I said, no, I was just reiterating about opinions and saying that some other people had a slogan of stand up and use your voice, but it was really only unless you said something they didn't like.
Oh, I know groups like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Stand
that's
up
kinda
and use
sad.
your voice as long as we approve.
As long as we agree with
exactly.
you.
You can say what you want as long as it's
And we,
proved by
and we
us.
like the people that you like, yeah.
See, I'm too old and cranky. Once upon a time when I was first in radio, we had every lunatic under the sun on that show. If it's related to the paranormal, I've interviewed somebody about it, no matter how ridiculous. The Planet Nibiru, all that goofy stuff. Now I'm too old and cranky, and it's like, if I don't think you have something worth saying, I won't let you on my channel. But I like the fact that Steve will have people I wouldn't give the time of day to on just to give them a voice. I respect that.
Yeah, and it's going to get bigger and better. I think. I think we have a pretty bright future. And again, I understand it's going to be a long haul. And even if it fails, like I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I am a realist. Even if it fails, I know that we tried, and I know that there's nothing else I've done differently to make all this happen, because it took several months for this lawsuit to go through. Long, arduous battle. I mean, because even though he didn't, respond with anything, it's still a pain in the ass doing this stuff. It really was. So, I mean, I understand it's going to be very difficult to get NonSequitur back, but we're going to try. And hopefully we got a game plan. I know, I think Jared's been working on it too. I know Red's Rhetoric and a few other people have kind of a game plan behind the scenes, and I approved of that. I think it's a great idea. Jared, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I think there's like I said, we're going to be pushing forward. I want the community to get strong. It is going to be working with other types of communities as well. Obviously, we work with the shills. We're going to be working with Undoomed. I think Undoomed wants to help out. Drunken Peasants wants to help out. So we are gonna build pretty rapidly, I'd hope, and we're gonna get to where we should have been initially. And without you guys, that won't happen. So I do thank you guys all for the support that you've given. Unlike other communities where all they want to do is tear people down, this community has proven that they want to build people up. They want to have the conversations, and they can talk all the fuckery they want about me all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you know what? It hasn't changed a goddamn thing because the outcome's still the same. We're still having conversations. We're still here. We still have amazing people. We still have things that people will listen to. I will listen to it. And most of all, we still have Sweet Heathen hanging in there, and it's well past her bedtime. Because she needs...
Here.
So, good job, Sweet Heathen.
Cheers.
It's almost
Cheers.
5 a.m. where I am.
I'm gonna be up later
Cheers.
than you, I think.
I know. I don't know how you do it. I go to bed early nowadays.
It's only going on noon or midnight rather for me.
She yelled at me the other day. She's like, "You're supposed to go to bed, dude. You're still up." I'm like, literally, I'm like on my laptop watching I think it was
Friday.
Tomorrow's my day off. I can stay up as late as I want.
Right? That's the only reason. Otherwise,
I've been going nonstop all week. I'm actually happy. I can actually sleep in tomorrow. I can do what I want.
Sleeping in is
sleep in? What's that?
Yeah,
It's that thing people
I gotta be up
do
tomorrow.
occasionally. I hear.
It's the
what
thing
is,
that people who don't have needy kids do.
Yeah.
I don't have
I
kids.
have
but I
a
work
needy
at 80
kid,
and
but she's not that needy. I guess I can't call her a needy kid. She's
I
a
don't-
pretty good independent woman.
I pushed the wrong button. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to leave that.
Rules.
Sorry about that.
We're taking over.
My bad. Sorry. I fall down, go boom.
Anarchy.
Wait,
Steve just lost the
damn it,
title.
Steve.
I fall down, go boom.
Steve just got
You ruined our dreams of taking over the channel.
No, see, here's the thing. Because the way he was streaming when he left, he abandoned us.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Nice
I
one.
mean, were
Jerry.
we going to give the channel back?
No, I was trying to see
We're not
how exactly
hiding.
was in here. So, anybody thoughts by Jay Brown? Do you want anything before we go, or without a crystal balls? Because I saw you guys lurking in here.
Yeah, Jay Brown, you've been pretty quiet. Have we given him a chance?
Yeah, I've just been laughing at you guys. That's all.
Oh, perfect. That's what we're here for.
I got to show you guys what I'm having for dinner since I just brought it up here.
God, that looks amazing. Is that a torta?
Ooh.
No, that is a baked potato covered in chili cheese
Oh.
and green onions and bacon.
Interesting.
I'm so hungry.
Gotta
now.
have the bacon.
Gotta love the bacon.
I wish I liked baked potatoes, but I don't.
Hey, Steve, before we go, can I plug my show tomorrow?
Yeah, of course.
So, folks, for those of you who are wondering who the heck I am, I'm Kevin Mears in the Paranormal Encyclopedia. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a show. I don't really know what the topic is, besides the fact that we're going to be talking finally about Steve and the success of taking back your channel.
And I will
Awesome.
listen. Send me a link.
Thank
and
you.
I'll
You're
listen.
welcome to come on as well if you would like.
I'm not going to be on, but I will listen.
Okay, offer stands.
I appreciate it. But I'll come on eventually. I promise.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's no notice, so I didn't really expect you were going to be able to come on.
Anybody else want to add anything before we kind of wrap this up? I think we kind of.
I had fun fondling sexy machines earlier tonight, and then I ended it with this. Where the fuck did I go wrong?
Yeah, not creepy at all. Not creepy at all.
Hey, we
Came
don't
in
know,
here.
but we hope you never get it right.
Right?
I don't have the degrees to tell you where you got it wrong.
Right.
You like you just the way you are.
All right, well, we're going to
I
end
was-
this, guys. What happens off air, we're not going to tell you. Good night.
I'll just say before we go, just raise a glass here. Toast
Yes.
to Steve's
All right,
success, all right?
To Steve! All right, one last thing. Hello. Thank you very much, all. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Okay. I had like one drop. And by the way, I already had one finger of scotch for 2.5 hours. I didn't even read.
Oh, that's your
Steve,
fault.
you got an alcohol problem.
Right?
Yeah.
I just can't drink that much.
He clearly does.
What does
I
that
still
mean?
have-
I mean, I haven't drank in 2 years,
Alcoholic.
and I had quite a bit.
I as sweet. I had like 3 drinks and I was done. I can't.
Does that mean like a thimble?
That to me is a lot. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, anyone who calls Steve an alcoholic is
Fucking clearly
I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I can't.
Steve has a drinking problem. He doesn't drink enough.
Do you know what I drink the majority of other than water? Sweet would know this. What is my drink of choice? Not alcohol.
Oh, that's energy drinks.
And coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caffeine.
So yeah, caffeine.
Caffeine.
Yeah.
Love my
Caffeine is
Love
God.
my energy drinks.
Killing it right
Love
there.
my rock stars.
I for one can't
All right,
stand
now we're gonna go.
Disgusting,
All
but
right,
I
so
still love you.
we gotta go off air. We got some we got non
Oh, I thought you already took it off air.
No, I had to go back. I had to go back.
I was like ready
Jared
to
was
say
about
some
to-
serious
I had to go
stuff.
back on for the cheers, but now we're gonna have non sequitur after dark. Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Bow
Bow
chicka
chicka
wow wow.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.